Okay. Yep, that's working. All right.
Welcome back.
The sleeper shall be awakened.
That's not what it says.
What does it say?
It's close. Not
So
that.
close.
The sleeper
I think
shell.
the map says operational gondola.
The sleeper shall.
The key.
The keeper. Awoken.
Awoke. Oh, word
Not
choice is
awakened.
key there. That's what we just learned.
Awoken.
What's the
what?
awakened?
No,
There's a
not
difference.
awakened.
Woke. Oh, this is.
Sleeper is
This
woke.
is another.
Sleeper shall be woke.
Yeah.
Sleeper shall be woke, bruh.
Yeah, bruh.
Okay, I gotta make sure I got all my crap together here.
This is gonna be fun.
This is gonna be
Everybody got their voice on their heads.
This is where the fun begins.
Yeah, honestly, I was trying it on the way over. I'm like, I might have it going.
Oh,
at this point.
I
2
need
weeks of stuff.
I need the Wi-Fi. I didn't think I was gonna need it.
Yep.
But I do.
Can we share?
Pretty fly for a white guy.
Maybe not.
2 floors in a row. That's tough.
McNew.
Yeah, I'm
Kyle.
gonna roll
That's
these
good.
two. Whichever
I hate to
one's
ask.
faster.
Is there any way I could borrow some dice?
Some dice?
Yes.
No.
No. Is it for
Okay, that's
Avenue?
an at one, and that's an 18.
Do like a physical
I
guy.
think we
Yeah.
may
Hey, but more than the.
Should be.
Any,
Heck yeah.
like any capital.
Thank you.
What are we thinking?
Dude, that perfect. Purple and blue are two of my favorite colors.
Perfect.
Thank you, sir.
There you go. Should be everything you need.
Yeah, yeah. And if it's not, fuck it.
That's why I'm just like,
I'll roll some.
Yeah, yeah. Give me a dude tuning. I don't have that.
Try me again.
Yeah.
Hit me.
Don't hit me. I can give you a
I
D4.
love it.
Okay, there we
That's 20.
go.
Nice.
That's what this is for, right?
Oh, I need.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
If you want
So
ash
dice
on
don't
your
go
dice.
flying.
Dude.
Uh-oh.
Oh,
just keeps getting better and
let's
better.
Go.
Ambiance. Atmosphere.
This is just going on the table.
Food.
Can't wait to roll my D20 into the
Water. Atmosphere.
Turning on Do Not Disturb.
Me too.
I need my head in the game.
I'm turning on Ghost
I'm
Protocol.
always on Do Not Disturb.
I'm
I
turning
think
on
we
D.
should all
I'm
make a
turning on
custom one
D&D.
called D&D. D&D.
Can this crackle next to the microphone?
Yeah, that's perfect.
Ambiance, dude.
Will it crackle?
Will it wave?
Nice.
Excuse
Got a
me.
little bit more brandy in that sip than any other sip. That
Oh, a little stronger.
just to chill down my spine.
Okay. Let's do it.
He's ready.
So,
let's do it.
That's my voice.
Where's Nathaniel? Is he on there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5,
Will
6.
Nate.
Yeah, he's
yeah,
there.
I'm
Okay.
this one, blue guy. Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
you
right.
gotta-
Guess what? I'm Eggy Boy.
We
over
got
there.
some punk kid
Yellow
with
Eggy
us.
Boy. Grog.
Eggy boy.
Is
We got
that a banana?
I don't know.
Kinda
I'm
caked
Banana
up,
Boy.
though.
Okay. Who's like
Whoa,
this?
whoa.
Bone boy?
Jeez, got
To
that
clarify-
wagon.
To
He
clarify,
does.
I am Banana Boy.
Look.
I'm cloudy.
Yeah, he
I'm
does
cloudy
got
white.
that.
I'm Misty Boy.
Nothing wrong with a
Alright,
little
I'll
bit
leave
of
it up
butt.
to you guys to know who.
That's a
Just
lot
a little
of
thing.
fun.
Which one's
That's
Little
a- that's a
Nate?
lot.
Is Little Nate this one on his side?
R.I.P. to Nate Dog.
No, he's not.
Can we make?
Here,
Will
okay.
Nate
Nate Dog or
This
Nate?
one's clear.
Nate Dog.
Nate Dog, no.
that
Nate Dog
makes-
isn't
Dude,
dead.
take off.
Yeah, maybe we have a different
Take
color instead of 3.
First thing I saw when I woke up this
Same,
morning.
actually.
Just how, me and my sister texted about it for like an hour. It was crazy.
Oh, that's Lil Nate for sure.
Will Nate.
Okay, Little Nate's green. Lovely.
Um,
That is a little guy too. Here you go.
oh,
this
should I?
Whitaker?
I should back
Bright red.
I can be
Forest.
a different color though.
Okay.
I can,
Now it's just you two need to know who's which red.
I'll go to orange.
So Quavo,
Can't wait to see what you wild shit
So,
guys don't know what I'm
y'all-
looking at.
we rolled for initiative. Quavo is first. And you are currently going. That's you going towards
Dude,
that.
I love that I don't remember the initiative rolls.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like it'll be like,
Yeah.
oh, it's my turn.
Yeah, yeah.
It's actually a surprise.
Let me finish. You take it away, brother.
Could you be so kind as to describe what?
Yeah,
What
that's
we're
good call.
doing
Yeah,
here?
good
Just
call.
like-
So,
just
So
a
I know
brief.
if I'm swinging my warhammer, do I think the entire group of cultists is going to witness this, or is it like too far over here? Just
Yeah.
like the
Because there's a
layout.
bunch of people
yeah,
here.
yeah, true. Yeah, there's a but there's.
But they're kind of in a
Cloaked,
state.
and they're in a trance.
They're in a
they're in a
trance,
state.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
So
Some
yeah,
sort.
to give some background,
Please.
y'all walked into this
Previously
room.
on.
That big structure in front of you is blocking the rest of the view.
I'm rolling. Oh
Um,
God,
It's blocking the rest of the view where there are like about 100 cultists or cloaked figures that are all facing the Scion, kind of entranced in the ritual that's taking place.
We have 100 buttons right there.
No.
Yeah. We can count it.
And the Scion is completing this ritual every few minutes or so, where one of the cultists will drag over a prisoner that's being kept in that area. And he's basically like dropping them into the cauldron, and then they're they're like, he's reciting some sort of ritual, and then they rise out of the cauldron, and they are cloaked. They weren't cloaked before, but then once they rise out of the cauldron, they are, and then they go kind of mindlessly join the rest of the cultists, or the rest of the cloaked figures.
Group. And the cauldron's in front of them?
Yeah.
The deep side? Okay.
And so there were 2 cultists that were guarding the prisoners, and one just carried a prisoner over to the Scion, leaving only one guarding the prisoners.
Okay.
And
I'm sorry, can you describe the guard one more time? They're
uh,
just cloaked figures.
the guards are just 2 like cultists. They're like cloaked.
They seem not in a trance, right? Like
They're not
there's
in a trance.
there's clearly
They're
a difference
different,
between
yeah.
yeah.
Right. Good
They're white
question.
buttons, of course.
There's levels.
And then, so, who has been noticed?
Who has been noticed? I
Like,
remember.
Are we still? I feel like he probably ran forward, and this guy obviously turned around and saw all of us except for Grog.
Are y'all
is
aren't
us.
hiding down there, right?
We were just kind of standing here because his back was turned, I think. I don't know. That might not be
I think
true.
I did thaumaturgy and tried to lure this guy.
Yeah, I also tried to lure
I tried to send a fart.
Or we
That's
did
right.
something.
But it was...
Oh, that's right.
You what?
We did lure him this way.
One way or another, he's going that way.
So I don't know if we're hiding. I can't remember if we were actually down
I feel
those
like-
quote-unquote stairs or if we were just like up there.
I could be wrong. I feel like I remembered it was like before we left. It was decided that I was the only one that was seen.
Yeah,
I think
and
that's
like
true. I think
everyone
that's
else was
true.
Were
obscured.
we all still on the
Because same with
stairs?
Grog.
We were
Yeah.
very...
Yeah.
The entrance is like here, right?
Yeah, I
Or
think
do-
it's like a tunnel.
This was the
The
entrance?
entrance is the stairs,
Oh, it is
but
the
it's
stairs.
blocked to where you're. Yeah, there's like a wall.
We can't go back yet.
Sure.
Well, no, not the entrance is blocked, but like this is a wall to where
Okay.
they can't see you. Right?
Gotcha.
I feel like only these 2 opened themselves up to being known, and
And
the
then-
rest of us were being
Which
caught.
I'm
Yeah,
still
so-
Sneaky Boy, right?
And
Right,
Grog,
Sneaky
yeah,
boy.
Grog made some noise, but they didn't see what it was.
I forgot about that. Yeah.
So can Grog can see people over here?
yeah,
I just see the cultists.
because that's how we found out.
Yeah, that's how
about
you
them.
found
Yeah, 'cause
out
Grog
that,
could see
that
them.
whole,
Yeah.
that whole
Sick ass.
sick ass.
Nice
The
ass.
scene is set.
nice.
The scene
ass.
is set.
Nice ass Grog.
So, Quavo, take it away.
Quavo, sickened and hurt by the injustice he is witnessing, brushes 15 feet
Yeah,
in his walking speed,
nice.
Lovely.
and swings a diagonal leftward, downward, leftward and downward slash on the guard's chest.
Tracking.
Diagonal. Wait, that's not specific enough.
Andrew,
I need the vectors.
Yeah, you had all 2 weeks to think of how you're
What's the
gonna...
angle?
Do we have degrees?
Okay, roll to see if you hit.
Okay, that's a D20.
D20.
Sorry,
Thinking about the slash. For
that's a
Yeah, I
10.
definitely want.
You do not hit.
Well, there we go.
What'd you roll?
I rolled a 10.
Oh, wait,
Whoa,
yeah,
wait!
yeah,
I didn't
okay.
add my things. What do I add?
Oh, do
You
you
got
have your thing?
strength, and then you got proficiency.
Oh, I add 14.
Okay, that does hit.
Yeah, baby.
Yes, I was about to say I need to.
Oh,
Maybe I should
yeah.
have warned my neighbors.
And
They're already watching.
then roll
It's a
for.
D6 for damage plus 2. So
Is it?
I have seen them naked.
You actually have?
Them over there. Yes.
Uh-oh.
They look directly like into our bedroom, and we look directly into theirs. It's we got a thing.
it is very kinky. All right, D.
That's awesome, man. I love that our session started with that. Record.
Did you get that?
It can
we
only
got
How's the audio?
it
How's
can
the audio?
only go further. All right,
So
Wow.
Okay.
3.
3 plus.
3. No, 1 plus 2. So
I
for
was just
Oh,
afraid
okay,
making sure
okay.
this made
Yeah, yeah.
sense. So
Okay,
just
so what do you
I have
do?
3 prepared.
yeah,
Three
I
available.
Downward, leftward, and diagonally,
diagonally.
and diagonally
Before that I
slash the
Because I
guard's
can-
chest.
I can pick
Okay.
between. You're fine. I can pick between this and that. I'm
And
choosing
you do
that,
3
but
damage?
I would
3
have
damage,
3
yes, sir.
per
Okay.
turn,
Heck
right,
yeah.
that I could use in
Okay.
this
So
And so the cultist like doesn't see it coming, and so he is now just like taken aback and is like holding his chest and is like almost caught out of breath. He's stunned essentially. So then we go to Grog.
That's interesting.
Grog, do you know that this is like going on? Does he know this is happening?
I'm
That's a
hearing
good
noises.
question, actually.
I'm hearing
I-
noises, right?
You hear
I don't
noises.
see it.
I guess you can choose what to do.
Got a long way to go.
Yeah, so just to
work.
clarify, Scion, guard, hundreds of bodies, kind of murmuring.
Uh, they're not murmuring. They're
They're just bodies.
they're kind of like hunkered
6
and like
and
they're moving kind of. They have the slight movements that they're making are all kind of the same.
Kind of like I Am Legend vibes. Like,
Whoa.
Yeah, but not as menacing. It's
Okay,
like they're like all kind of lifeless.
They're
but
victims
not-
for sure.
yeah.
You can
Yeah.
take him.
So you're saying I should charge into them? I think. Let's see. I think what makes sense is first I'm gonna shillelagh my wet spear.
You're,
What are you doing?
what does Shillelagh do again?
Shillelagh just makes it so that I use wisdom instead of strength,
Oh,
and
great.
it does a 1d8 instead of 1d6.
Oh,
So I don't
nice.
have to use 2 hands to do 1d8 anymore. So I'm gonna shillelagh. That's a bonus. And then I actually think I want to move. And we are using movement now.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're a decent number of feet away, right?
No.
All these structures are real.
Mm-hmm.
This is like a
Or,
pool
wait.
of water, right?
Yeah, it is.
Pool of water.
That is a pool of water. Those I can't remember.
columns in the room.
I don't
or-
think those are.
It's fine if they don't.
I can't remember
We
what we
want that pool
decided.
of water. For
It's
your
up to
wet
you.
spear.
I know.
Wait, none of us.
I
should
don't
drag
think
it
they.
to it.
I don't.
That's what
I think
was
they
thinking.
don't
Let's go
exist.
over to the
Huh?
pool.
I think they are not there.
That's fine.
If I
So,
remember correctly.
okay, so open room,
Mhm.
cavernous. I am gonna. Can I get to the water? Like how deep is? Like how far is
Yeah,
the water
you
from
yeah
where
you
I'm
can get to it.
Like it's- at ground level?
It's at ground level with that little entrance.
Oh, so
Okay.
you gotta go around.
Cool. So I am gonna
Good move.
move. I'm gonna basically join this direction.
Okay.
So obviously it's 5 feet per.
Good call.
So I've got 30,
12. Oh, 30. Dang.
5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30.
Yeah, I don't claim to know how it works.
Yeah.
If you like walk diagonally, but I guess you can.
I mean,
No, you can.
I'd
You
be
can.
right
It's
around,
5 feet.
but I'd be
Right.
right
That's
around
good.
there. And I'm assuming that I can't access the water from that spot.
I-
Or
where
is
are
that
you?
where I could?
He's
I don't
right
think you
there.
can.
That feels like
Okay,
a
so
wall
I'm
for
dipping
water.
the tip. I'm dipping
You're
my
dipping
tip.
the tip?
Dip the tip.
Oh, the wet spear.
What was that noise?
Just the tip.
Yes.
Yeah, and then
The wet spear. It's shillelagh.
It's tip
Shillelagh-
wet.
Is shillelagh? Wow.
I know this.
OP.
This
Wet
spear
and
just got like
shillelagh.
45
Nerf the wet
bonus.
spear now.
So much power.
Nerf the wet spear.
And I
Sorry,
think
it's in the hole.
at this, so with that, I am going to. Now this is where my knowledge gets a little lacking. Readying an attack or readying some sort of action for a different turn. I'm not exactly sure what capabilities I have there.
That is, we haven't really covered the actions you can take, I guess. Like on your turn, there are different actions
it-
you can take other
yeah,
than
is-
attacking or casting a spell.
Is that a bonus action?
So
Like-
it's you can basically give
I
up your
basically give up
action
my
on your
action.
turn and say, when these conditions are met, I take my reaction.
Oh, okay. And that replaces your action for the turn. That,
So
Are
yeah,
you- are you just
it'd be
asking if
like
that's okay?
so. Imagine
Yeah.
if he goes first in the turns, but like if somebody approached him later and attacked him, that'd be like odd. So he can say like I'm readying attack. If somebody comes
Yeah,
next to me,
that's-
I will
that's
then
cool.
attack.
I think that's where I'm at. It's just basically like readying a defensive
How much damage
stab
did
with my
the-
wet spear.
Do we know how much
If
he
someone
took?
does
The
approach
other
me,
guy took?
Yeah.
I'm just
He
gonna
took
ready
the-
an
you-
attack.
3
Okay.
damage.
But then, like, if it comes to
these
your
guys are
turn
tanks.
again
Yeah.
and nobody triggered it, then that is
It's
wasted.
gone. Yep. That's also I was asking also because I'm like I don't know if you know bonus like those kinds of attacks.
No.
So if you
Always.
ready an attack, it's basically like or ready an action.
Yeah.
It's basically until your next turn it is ready, depending on how like the conditions that you've set.
Okay.
So in my case, if someone doesn't attack me by my next turn, I've just wasted my action technically.
Oh,
wow.
your
There's not
action
much you
for
can
your
do
next
with it.
turn.
No,
No,
for
no.
this
Oh,
turn.
yeah, okay.
This would be a pointless action, and I'm just standing there going,
There's a couple other
Cool.
things you can do, and we don't have to like get overwhelmed by it. But you can disengage. That's a really useful one. If you're within melee range of somebody, you can take the disengage action to run away without provoking an opportunity attack, which means they get to attack you when you leave their melee range. So you can say, I want my character to disengage, and then you can just run away without them attacking you on your turn. The other one that I think is pretty useful, you can dash to double your movement speed. That takes an action, and you just get an extra 30 movement or whatever.
Oh,
movement
wow.
I mean,
is.
maybe I
That's
should
cool.
just do that and then get closer.
And then the last
Yeah,
one
do
is
it.
help.
Alright,
Help
do
is
it.
super useful too. You can help somebody, and basically you have to describe like, I'm trying to like distract the enemy, and that's how I'm helping them. Like, I want to give them advantage on their attack,
Mm.
and that'll use your action for your turn.
You said I can go diagonally?
Sorry, that's what I know.
What do you think?
Obviously,
You can't
Alex,
go
that's
diagonally?
that's up to you. No, diagonal's good.
Yeah, because it's
I
five
yeah,
square.
yeah.
meant,
It's
like,
5
all
square
the
feet.
action
So
stuff, like,
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Run it
This
by
is
you for
5,
sure.
10, 15.
Pythagorean.
It's actually not primitive.
I think I'm. So that's my action. I think I'm gonna go right here, and just basically I use my action to dash instead of that ready to attack. So
Okay.
Is your tip still wet?
yeah, I dragged my tip through the water. as
Okay.
I
Oh,
moved
that's
past.
so sick.
Okay, that's
That's
good.
good.
Were you-
Skimming
Dude,
like
that's
running.
anime,
I'm
dude.
thinking,
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah. That is.
I was anime running, and as I get closer, I basically like I'm dragging the tip, and then I basically like pull it up. But that's
That is
where
funny.
time
Does anything
passes.
happen to the spear when it gets wet?
Yeah, I'm curious, DM.
It gets really slimy. Like it is so wet. It is like glisteningly wet.
And that's the whole thing, right?
It's like
it's hard for me.
No,
to
it's not
hold.
wet. It's glazed.
Just the
It's
tip?
just
Every
the
time-
tip is glazed.
Every time you use it, you have to roll to hold on.
Yeah.
It's just.
Yeah.
Roll for
And
grip.
that's the end of my
Roll
turn.
for grip.
In what?
That's the end of my turn.
Okay, we go to Whitaker.
Let's fucking go.
I don't
Yes,
really know even what.
Hey,
Also,
do
these
it.
people
Do it.
aren't
Whitaker
alerted
did.
yet, right? Like
Hopefully
They
not. Jesus.
no.
Yeah, if we do things right here, we can off this guy without alerting.
I was gonna say that's kind of what I'm thinking. Is we just gotta
That's why I
rock this Joker. Can you remind me
I
what
didn't push
happened
another
when
direction.
Andy hit
I
him?
didn't want to start it.
He got stunned, right?
Yeah, he was kind of
And
stunned.
the
He
bear!
he was like clearly a gash in his chest or his armor, maybe.
Okay.
But he's kind of stunned and like gathering himself now. So that's one thing I looked it up. Kyle, or many of you may know this. Each turn technically lasts 6 seconds. So that is just like keep in
Round.
mind where it's like, oh, it's been a while and this guy's still like recovering from that one attack. But like, yeah, so we're only 12 seconds removed from this cultist getting hit. in the
He
chest.
got
No,
slapped,
every
so I ran out.
every turn takes place in real time.
So I
Yeah.
think it's actually a round is 6 seconds.
Oh,
Like
10
all
rounds
of
is a
our
minute.
turns
Happen in 6
is
seconds.
so yeah, 10 rounds.
Oh.
Like he said, is 60.
oh,
seconds.
I thought it was like a
It
turn
is
is
odd,
each
right?
person's.
Because it's like it's happening sequentially, but
Yeah.
then like
The idea is that it happens
Yeah,
all
that it's all
simultaneously.
happening.
Wait,
yeah,
that's
okay.
kind of cool.
That is sick. Okay,
That is
I like
pretty cool.
So like
Uh,
as he's running forward with his tip in the water, you're slashing and
Yeah.
stunning.
Yeah,
like
yeah,
that
yeah.
kind of thing.
Dude, that's cool.
And just to give context, Asgrog, I heard the sounds. And
Yeah.
so I like ran back because I was like,
Mm.
we were sneaking and now I'm hearing a lot of noise, so I'm
Yeah.
gonna run back and try and see what's going on.
And ready for combat.
Yeah, and
Race the
now-
water.
and
Yeah,
now
yeah.
That's the.
So I have 30 movement.
Mhm.
I'm gonna. There's no. I don't think I have range for my. Oh, 20 feet or 60 feet. Okay, I do have range for my trident.
So that
Sensation.
means
So
you can throw in between 20 and 60 feet
Oh.
normally. If it's less than that, you throw with disadvantage. If it's more than that, it's with disadvantage. Does that make sense?
if it's less than that, I throw with advantage. Okay.
Or
Yeah, that makes sense.
Disadvantage because it's outside of your range.
Like it's too close for you to throw.
Oh,
It's like
Yeah.
awkward.
so I should
At that
throw
point, you
it
should just
I should chuck it probably from here then. Between
Oh,
20 and 60
hey,
feet.
I'm sorry, I got that very wrong. It's up to 20 is regular, and then between 20 and 60 is disadvantage, and you
Okay.
can't do more than 60.
That makes more sense. Okay, then I'm just gonna. I have 30 movement, so I'm guessing I'm just like gonna put myself on one of these squares. So that would be 1, 2, 3, 4
So that's 20.
is 20, and then I'm within 5, 10. Is that how that works?
Yeah, give or take.
Okay, so I'm
You're
gonna.
within range.
You can fudge for the last 5 feet.
Okay, sure. Then I'm gonna run up, and as I'm running, like pulling the trident off
Oh,
my
yeah.
back.
And this is your
presumably.
like devil's pitchfork, right?
Yeah. So
Whoa.
I'm still working
That's
on. I've been
right.
like drawing different ones and trying to figure out what I want it to look
That's
like and
good.
stuff like that. I've looked up all these
For
different
now, we
files.
just know it has tridents.
Yeah, it has trident vibes, but I will say this: I do know this much. The middle like spike on it, it's more of like a bladed trident rather than like a just pure, just like point and tip. And then the middle one is like a pretty good bit longer than the edges, so it is much more like spear-like, right? And then the edges are not curved necessarily. I think they're just going to be vertical, actually. So it's pretty. It's
Sick
like a
ass.
lot more just
Cool.
like tri-spear kind of thing.
Cool.
So as I'm running, I'm pulling it out and then over my head, hurling it forward and throwing it. It's trying to pin this guy to the wall, basically.
All right. Roll. See if it hits.
Okay. I rolled an 18.
Oh,
Okay,
let's
nice.
go.
Nat
dude.
18, and then so
Huge.
That
So
that
it's-
hits.
Actually, it should
Yeah.
show, if you go back to equipment, it should show exactly what you add to it, plus 3.
okay, plus 3, so 21.
Hits.
Good.
Then do I roll again for damage?
Yeah.
Okay. And it's a
So for
1d6
every
for
attack,
throwing.
you're gonna roll to see if it hits, and then roll for damage.
6 is just
Okay.
the normal shape.
6 for
Oh, come on.
4.
Plus
Oh, and then I add
your dex.
Strength. Or, yeah, it's
I
strength
forget
for
how it
thrown.
works.
strength plus 1, so 5.
That so
Gorgeous.
you
Gorgeous.
so you throwing the trident.
Yeah, I'm running forward, unsheathing it, and then hurling it forward.
Hell
Over
yeah.
quick.
Like
Okay.
it's yeah.
So
Over his head.
so that hits and kills. So what happens?
Oh, hell yeah.
What
What
happens?
happens to the cultist?
Anyway, against the wall.
Yeah, for sure. So I'm launching it, and it hit just right in the chest and pushes him back, and he's like literally stuck in the wall,
Yeah.
and the trident is poking out.
That's
from
so
it.
sick.
So with that, the cultist lets out a.
Damn.
Dang it.
Yeah,
Which
yeah.
alerts the
Shut up,
deep
shut the
scion.
fuck
Should've hit
Now we
on the throat.
actually, in perfect timing, go to the
Trachea.
move of the deep scion.
Yeah, of course.
Should've
So
launched it
he
into his
Oh
moves.
mouth.
man.
You readies.
Yes.
He readies.
And then
Should have
he
gone
is
for the
a-
head.
Always.
Yeah.
He disengages.
Thought about it. It crossed my mind.
1,
They
2,
move.
3, 4,
Oh my god.
5, 6. His speed is 30, so I guess that
nailed
ends
it.
his turn.
Holy shit.
Fuck!
That is
Yeah.
terrifying.
Oh,
Yeah.
wait, and then he.
How does he move?
Everyone go this way.
What does this thing do?
Does he like float? Yeah.
No,
or
he
just-
walks.
Just
He
slithers.
walks.
Okay.
Fast
Walks.
alert.
Okay.
Yeah,
Um,
that's like-
Fast
Fast
lurk.
alert.
Fast lurk.
That's the
A
scariest
float,
kind
yeah.
of flirt.
NFL.
does that? I guess. That. Yeah, that ends his turn. I guess.
I'm not gonna make suggestions for what he should do.
I love that.
And then well.
Dude, he just runs over.
Let's see.
He just runs over. Yeah, and then he does
Why are you stabbing my guy?
a D20 of damage to everyone.
What's going on?
Yeah.
Can we take this button off just so we don't forget?
Yeah,
about
yeah.
this, guys?
Good call.
Or
He's
Dude, I'm gonna
Actually-
keep him.
Yeah,
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 yeah.
Oh,
yeah,
shit.
yeah,
Oh
yeah.
no no no
No,
no!
it
You
makes
can
sense.
no you can remove him.
Okay.
Oh.
Sorry, I was saying actually.
They're gonna
to,
reanimate.
Can
to the deep scion. So
You wanna-
I? No,
Okay.
I just if he's gone, then I.
here's what's actually gonna happen. This is
I don't think you have your trident right now.
so.
Still stuck
Until
in
it's
the wall.
like your turn. I don't think you have
Oh,
it.
yeah, yeah,
Because you threw it.
Nice.
So the deep scion, seeing that the cultist has just died at the hands of some invaders,
what?
lets out a
Oh my god.
like that,
Like on purpose.
and it is a psychic screech
Shit.
that emits a terrible scream, audible within 300 feet.
That
Creatures
covers it.
within 30 feet of the Deep Scion must succeed on a wisdom saving throw.
Oh, damn it. That's
Doorway gang, we're eating. That's just me. Little Nate.
Always.
Creatures
Babysitting.
within.
It's us three. We have to do a saving throw.
Every other action I
Wisdom.
take when
Wait,
we play.
y'all don't have to do the same?
No, they're not within 30
yeah,
feet.
if you're within 30,
We are.
if you're
Oh,
within
30
30
feet.
feet
Yeah,
of the
yeah.
Deep Scion, then make a wisdom saving throw.
Jesus.
Which I am.
That is my lowest one. Let's
My
go.
entire job
20.
in this game is just to ask little Nate how he's
Oh,
doing.
baby. I got a dirty 20.
Okay.
Oh, no.
I got a dirty one.
A dirty one.
not a nat one. Not a nat
okay.
one. Yeah,
what do you
yeah.
mean a
You
dirty
have
one?
different
Like-
modifiers?
like-
Minus
Oh,
one.
minus one.
Minus
Oh.
one. Yeah, yeah.
I got a, and it's a saving throw.
Yeah.
I got a 16.
Okay, so Quavo is stunned until the end of Deep Scion's next turn.
Fuck.
Um,
Quavo,
They got a
what
deep
does
sigh.
that look like?
You quickly petrify into a garden gnome.
Yeah, yeah. I like the red hat, the
Yeah.
beard.
You have that leather jacket on.
That's true. Oh, I've
you
got a
look
cool
like-
you
leather
got the
jacket
bronze
on.
leather
Yeah,
jacket.
you sure
dude.
the
I
leather
froze like
jacket
this.
doesn't offer- the leather jacket
He's
doesn't
stubbed
offer
his finger.
psychic.
Scion!
Um,
He's horrified.
Yeah.
And then we move to the other cultist who is right there. And
Starboy.
let me see.
I'm a mother.
Stop.
Uh,
Look what you done.
he goes. I guess he's right here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5,
Excuse me, master.
6, and that just ends his turn. And then we go
Legs.
to Gobi.
Gobi.
Can I ask how tall the Scion is in this instance?
He's
Fucking tall.
between 6 and 7 feet. He's,
Oh, okay.
Ooh.
It's like my
You can take it. You can grapple this.
Yeah.
no way to grapple his
Wait, to be clear, is that something y'all want me to do?
Just his ass.
Yeah. I grab on.
Okay. This will be something. I'm gonna move a little bit forward, so that I'm in range of your trident. So I'm gonna go. I only have 25, so 5, 10.
Good thing.
Kind of rocking to the back here. 25. All right, so I'm in range of your trident. Would you consider the trident being worn?
being worn?
Is it being worn by the person it's currently impaled inside of?
No.
Okay, cool. Then I'm gonna
No.
cast catapult on the trident. I'm gonna catapult it at the other cultist.
Whoa!
Dude.
Fucking sick.
That
That
is
is
sick.
That is sick.
So
Wait, how does that happen?
Wait, what?
Is the trident like
That
5
is-
pounds?
So you can't do
It's
that
not
with
more than,
clothing?
like, 5 pounds. If it's more
Um,
than 5 pounds, I can't do it actually. Yeah, I can't do it for things being worn.
4 pounds.
Let's go! Let's go!
Oh!
All right.
Sling that joker.
So actually, I don't have to roll anything. The cultist has to make a dex saving throw.
Oh,
Ooh.
shit.
Let's go.
Okay. He rolls a 9.
Okay, cool. So he takes 3d8 bludgeoning damage.
Oh
shit.
my
Three.
god.
It doesn't even hit him with the points. It goes sideways at him. And
Bludgeoning
throat.
damage.
clothesline his ass.
Okay,
Quick,
cool.
somebody go get on their knees behind him.
3,
Tabletop.
He has cow tip.
18 damage.
Nice.
I think.
So how does he die?
I just want to make it look all, magically and like. Whoop.
Oh,
the other
that's
one,
sick.
possibly spearing him in a way that it's readily available for it to be retrieved.
I love
by
that.
its
So
owner.
just like
Yeah.
into the
Through the chest again, pins him to the floor.
Okay.
You're
while
like
at an
reaching
angle.
down from your
Yeah.
trident.
Yeah,
to
yeah,
grab
like,
it.
what? That's funny.
I love it.
It's like a Vine edit. It's like
I-
bam, bam, bam.
Ezekiel from the doorway is like, damn, like Whitaker just did that. That was crazy.
Yeah.
When did Whitaker get a
That's
boomerang?
insane.
When did Whitaker get a boomerang?
We go to Ezekiel.
Fuck.
Ezekiel.
Okay.
Wait, if that ends Gobi's turn, right?
Oh yeah,
Is he dead?
he's dead.
He's dead.
Yeah,
Both cultists are dead.
that's good to know.
He's
Cultists are dead. I touched one. It's dead. Here's what I'm gonna do. Do we know if these guys have we heard any rumblings, stirrings? Are they moving at all?
No, they aren't.
They're kind of tranced
Tranced.
too. Okay.
They aren't.
They're
Okay,
tranced the
sweet,
fuck out.
sweet. They're tranced, and like the
They're-
ones over here, their trance is still going.
Well, they are in a
Those
trance.
are prisoners.
Oh,
Yeah, yeah.
prisoners.
They're like kind of.
Fatigued.
They're like half asleep, basically. It's like they've been drugged. Those are like not even paying attention to what's going on.
I gotcha. Okay.
Can I ask what the Deep Scion did when his second cultist died? Very good.
That's the perfect sound for him.
That is.
Yeah, there
Gollum
was
type
there
scream.
a scream after the second one died?
No, there was
Okay,
not.
cool.
Good.
Choice.
All right. So I am going to. If I'm like here, can I see across the pool to the deep scion? If there's nothing blocking my vision.
There is.
Okay,
That,
okay,
yeah.
I don't think.
That's right. There's like a monument thing in the middle.
Yeah.
Okay. I pat little Nate on the back, and I say, "All right, Nate. Now's the time. Let's see what those blades can do."
What?
I pat him on the back, and my eyes roll back into my head, and I begin to recite an empowering speech from a spirit that I contact, and says, "Walk into a room just as cool as you please, and to a man the fellows stand or fall down on their knees. When they swarm around you, a hive of honeybees, say, it's the fire in my eyes, and the flash of my teeth, the swing in my waist, and the joy in my feet. I'm a woman, phenomenally."
Nate, you can see the fear leave his eyes.
Holy
He
shit.
furrows his brow and grabs his scimitar.
Yes!
God.
And he is inspired.
And my eyes roll back down, and I move my hand from his back, and I run forward. Where would I need to be to see the scion? Like, do I have to
You're-
like get over here?
Wait, who are you?
I'm right
You
here.
see him now.
I can see him. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, hell yeah, I stay right the fuck.
Wait,
there,
you don't have dark vision, right? I don't know, actually.
There's one of us that doesn't. There's one of us that
Oh,
doesn't.
these torches aren't here.
They are here. Okay, yeah, they are. So you see him. You see him.
Okay, I'll take it.
Vaguely. Oh no, there's one right there.
So
One by Grog.
Actually.
you know what? Just to cover my bases, I'm gonna. You guys know this move. I swirl
Hell yeah.
some mist above
I
my
love
head.
this move.
Send it a gust of swirling mist through the air. It weaves through all of you and goes straight towards the deep scion. And he
Light him
has
up.
to make a dex save.
Nice. He rolls a 8.
Oof.
Ooh, yeah, that does not succeed.
Hmm.
So he is outlined in this glowing mist and is now shedding dim light in a 10-foot radius, just in case he goes into the dark. I can still see.
Great call,
Okay.
great call.
Good.
Nice move.
Lovely.
Dude.
So now, whenever you guys attack him, your rolls are have advantage, and he can't benefit from invisibility if he was going to.
Dude, I forgot about the eclipse.
Let's
That's
go,
badass.
Kyle. Let's go, Zeke.
Dude, that is.
And you know what? That I think I'm just to cover my bases, I'm gonna go even further away. I'm gonna go
Nice.
back
Sure.
here and just plant my ass.
And that ends your turn.
That ends my turn.
Now we move to Nate, who
What does Nate say?
Nate.
And I'd love to hear it in this voice.
He doesn't say anything.
Look who's got the compass.
You're gonna pay,
Walks
loser.
right up to the
Yeah.
Deep Scion.
See Maxim in the
Just
face.
uses the same quotes.
Hits him with the flat of the blade. Just
He moves.
You do confident young
What is
lady.
he?
Use the sharp
He goes 1, 2, 3, 4, and he stands behind Uncle Grog.
just looking at those juicy
Uncle,
cakes.
dude. Grunkle.
Do you mind if I play
Grump.
some music for the fight?
Oh, dude, no.
No,
He does mine.
I do not. I totally.
Are you sure?
Yes, I'm sure.
He's got some Deep
I-
Scion, deep
What did you
tracks.
I
The deep-
100%
deep-
forgot.
deep
Thank you
hits.
so much. No.
I'm fired up already.
Yeah.
That's
thank
enough
you.
for me.
Thank you so much for reminding
All
me.
right.
I'm in it. I don't need an inspiration die.
Did you make another
My
soundtrack
friend
for
would always
this
play
fight?
with a guitar, and whenever we'd rest, he'd play that
On
song.
acoustic
Oh,
guitar.
I want to retcon that it probably makes more sense for bludgeoning
Yeah,
damage
hold
if
on,
you're trying
hold
to
on.
spinning through the air.
No, I like that it just went.
Yeah.
It went stagnant.
It went straight and then at the last moment flat.
like stepping on a shovel.
Just
Boom,
full
boom.
body.
That's hilarious.
I guess it's
I think you
rake.
can hear
Rake
this.
is the
Yeah.
cartoon.
Yeah.
Shovel.
No,
would
shovel.
never-
Come on.
Shovel,
No,
because it's
shovel
got
could
the
happen.
bent end.
Works with
Shovel
works with
works.
all
It's gonna be a
sorts of
spade.
gardening tools.
Can you even hear that?
Is that the loudest it
It's-
does?
What's the
So
song? I
quiet.
can maybe play it out of mine.
Do you don't have like a
Mine might be-
speaker or something? Like a portable
I
speaker?
thought
Anybody?
this is a
I
third.
don't have a Bluetooth
No,
speaker
it's alright.
here. Well,
I expected this to
I
be
can
a lot
open the
louder,
window
so-
and you can connect to the sound bar,
Hell yeah.
but that will take time.
Dang, stupid
Precious
iPad.
6
Jack.
For
Oh,
Little
sorry,
Nate's
man, your
move, he
turn took
readies
too
the
long.
music.
Mine might be louder.
You're what?
My iPad.
Could you play the music out of your computer?
Oh, you saved it too, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've got, it's on my iPad.
Dude, I
Um,
saved it to the cloud.
You know what? Well,
Or your computer? Can you play it out of your computer?
I don't think so. Because I'm using it.
Oh,
Okay,
that's
we're
not that
good.
bad.
We're good.
It's-
I think it's good.
Yeah,
That's
Yeah,
good. That's good.
We want to be able to hear each other.
Yeah, yeah,
Oh,
I want to be screaming.
yeah. So Nate's turn ends, and then we technically go to Quavo, but you're stunned. So you don't do anything.
Nope.
Is he
Uh,
even stunned
I watch
now?
Nate charge in, and I'm like,
No, he's not stunned yet, or he's not unstunned.
When do I get unstunned?
At the end of Scion's turn.
Gotcha.
Oof.
So
Big
that's
oof.
Grog, right?
We go to Grog now.
Okay. Yep.
Come on, Grog.
So I continue my run, and I'm going right into the Scion.
Mm.
So
Let's go.
5,
The
10,
best of us.
and I'm striking with my wet spear.
Oh,
That's awesome.
your wet spear.
My shillelagh wet
Your
spear.
wet spear lily.
I get to roll with advantage, right? Gosh. this
Yeah,
is-
yeah.
Wow.
I feel like
This is the most
I'm gonna
powerful
do one
single
at a time.
strike we could do.
Wait.
Okay,
Oh,
good,
good
one.
advantage.
okay,
Wait, you roll every. Wait, hold on.
This was because of his.
You roll every roll with advantage?
against
rolls.
attack rolls against him.
Attack rolls or hit or
Attack rolls against the sign.
Not for damage, just
Not for
Gotcha,
damage.
gotcha,
just
gotcha.
for hitting. All right, that one. So come on, can't do much worse.
Hey!
And with my wisdom modifier, it's an 18.
that hit.
Okay. So as Uncle Grog, I'm kind of emboldened by little Nate
Yeah.
coming up and hiding behind me. I'm kind of like I go all uncle mode.
Full
I go
uncle
funkle
mode.
mode. If you
Funkle
will.
mode,
I'm
full uncle
fun
mode,
uncle.
full
Yeah. I'm like,
Watch this,
let's see.
buddy.
How do I say that? What is that?
New Zealand.
New
What's your
Zealand.
what's your words?
Yeah,
What's
New
your
Zealand.
words that get you back in the accent?
Absolutely. Yeah, I feel like he like gets really inspired. I guess I'm talking like me right now.
That's okay.
He gets
whatever
really
it takes.
inspired and continues his anime run and swipes the spear up without even pausing.
That's so sick.
It's a D8 of damage.
Dang it!
Oh,
What? A one?
It's a 1.
Plus
Plus a D4
and plus your strength or wisdom.
wisdom. Yeah. So sorry, it's a 3 plus 2, so 5.
Okay,
That's not bad. That's not bad.
cool.
that we'll take
The,
that. We'll take that.
And I go for thigh. I go for left thigh.
Dude.
I'm
Okay.
full wet spear into left thigh.
Into wet throw.
Thigh guy.
Yeah.
Um,
Wet thigh.
wet
Left
thigh.
thigh.
Okay, you hit him, and the Scion kind of like he is scratched and he flinches, but he's not.
Scratched.
I don't even. That sounds
He's not
like
really
he
hurt.
didn't give it.
Perfect.
Then we go to Whitaker.
Sorry, and as a
Oh.
bonus action,
Yeah.
I'm going to wild shape into a dire wolf.
Yay!
So as I stab, I basically like full force stab, and you said scratch, so I guess I
Lance him.
yeah, I just kind of like lay it. Like I just kind of throw. It's kind of a throw strike, right?
Okay.
So I'm not.
Yeah.
Throwing it, but
I am fully committing to it. Just kind of like shing,
Yeah.
hoping it sticks.
Letting go.
It just scratches apparently, and then I howl, "Oh!" and then I get real hairy.
Love
My
it.
tusks are still there from when I was a ward, so then I get the elongated snout and kind of the bloodied, rage-filled wolf eyes as I transform into a dire wolf.
That's good.
Yeah, I've still got sick abs.
Sick abs, like
Yeah.
big
Yeah.
shoulders.
And then that ends my turn.
Shoulder, shoulders.
like
Yeah, I've got weirdly large wolf.
defined
Wolf
muscles.
Wolver shoulders. We go to Whitaker.
okay. I think. Well, can I? Where's my spear if the other guy's dead?
It should be
Or
like
tried
here,
it.
'cause that's
Yeah,
right.
it's stuck in
It's
the
right
wall.
next to me.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think I'm gonna try something a little different.
Oh.
So I have a spell called Guiding Bolt.
Okay.
Has 120 feet of range, and it
That's within
says, yeah, I would imagine. So I guess have to cast to see if it lands first, or roll to see if it lands.
Yeah, so this is like making a ranged attack.
Okay.
So you would roll a d20 to hit.
Oh. Nobody move.
Reroll.
You can get a reroll. I got too excited.
No, it's next to your left foot though.
Yeah.
It's lefty left
And do you get any modifiers for it?
You'll add your spell, your attack modifier,
jeez.
which should be in there.
I rolled a 5 in attack modifier.
You do have advantage against him,
Oh, wow.
So spell
Okay.
attack bonus says +4.
so it would be a 9.
9.
But you can roll again.
Should okay. So we should. So that's pretty low.
You don't.
Well,
Yeah.
you roll both and then you take the higher.
Yeah, you don't
Oh,
have to choose.
4 and then +4, so 8. Tough. Okay.
You do not hit.
Okay. What can I do in that case? Is that just my
Is
only
that
turn?
in your
I think
turn?
that would end
So
my
that's
turn.
your action. If
Right.
you have a bonus action, you can use it, or you can move.
I do think I have, because I'm making it, it might just be specific to melee attacks though.
That one's bonus.
One action. Okay. Bonus action.
Yeah, I think your
Okay.
melee thing is
Only for melee.
a weapon attack.
Sure, makes sense. Okay, then that ends my turn.
Okay.
Total failure.
So we go to the Scion.
Wait, hold on. Can I ask what it looked like? What your spell looked like?
Oh jeez, no, you can't ask me that right now.
foot. It kind of misfired to begin with.
yeah.
Yeah. So we go to the Scion. He. Who's the yellow? That's Grog.
Grog. Uncle Grog.
That's Uncle Grog.
Uncle. Sorry. Direwolf Grog.
Direwolf.
Dire
True,
Grog.
true.
Direwolf.
Diagrog.
Fungal.
Fungal grog.
Fungal Grog. The Deep Scion kind of jumps past Grog to be right here. And then, so you notice as the Scion jumps kind of into the ground, into the crowd, he's holding a rod that has kind of 3 tentacle-looking things hanging off of it, and they're kind of like moving like tentacles at the end of it. And he raises it up, and he flings he's holding it up, and with one of the tentacles he aims at Grog and rolls a 24
Jeez.
to hit him.
Yeah, that
Crazy.
And
Just
then
barely.
I was
But
gonna say what direwolf status.
where is it? And then so he hits Grog for 6. Oh, I'm sorry. No, that was wait. This. Sorry. No, he hits for 2 damage on Grog. And then
So it's a pole with
with
what-
3 tentacles
on the top.
at the top.
Like
And
a
he's like
paintbrush?
holding it up. He flings it first. Yeah.
Okay.
But they're long tentacles.
Okay.
And so
Okay.
flings the first one at Grog, hits him for 2 damage. He
No way.
he aims the second one. Who's the red?
Me.
No. Oh yeah.
He
Like,
aims the second one at Quavo and hits for 15.
Damage?
no.
No.
Your armor.
Oh,
Armor.
18.
Oh, nice.
Your armor is 18.
Hell yeah, it is.
Go fight her.
Heavy
Sweet.
armor boy.
Wow.
Yeah.
Combination of having
Chainmail
good
soldier.
armor and being very.
Okay, that's wait. Yeah, it
You
doesn't
can hit him
hit.
with spells.
Yeah, he couldn't hit you standing
I'm
still.
frozen.
This guy sucks.
Just,
So that tentacle kind of goes.
yeah. I get a
and
little residual
then
slime.
He,
Oh no.
who's orange?
Me.
He aims at Whitaker and flings the third tentacle and rolls a 21 to hit.
Yeah, you got it.
Goodness.
So,
Real quick,
Yeah.
as the last tentacle lashes out towards Whitaker, I, from back here, like as I'm still swirling the mist around him, I clench one of my hands, and the mist around him like sucks into his head,
Whoa.
Oh my.
into the Scion's head?
into the Scion's head.
Okay.
Doing 20 damage.
And basically, it like
Removing
gives
his
this like
weapon from
spike
his
of
body.
pain into his head, distracting him from that attack and giving him disadvantage. So he
Okay.
has to roll again.
To hit?
Yes.
Okay.
Or
Coming
He rolls a 6.
Okay, it
Whoa.
doesn't hit.
Doesn't
Okay,
hit.
so
Wow.
as that happens, some of the mist leaks out and surrounds Whitaker, empowering his next attack.
Holy Nikes.
So it gives you advantage
Yeah.
on your next roll
Goated
within
mist.
or save you make within 1 minute.
Interesting.
Okay. Holy.
So after that tentacle misses, he sees the mist surround Whitaker, and the Scion kind of turns and lunges at Whitaker.
I made you a target. I'm sorry.
And
This guy did this.
he kind of opens his like big jaws and like lunges a bite at Whitaker.
Big jaws.
And what was an 8 doesn't hit. So he so Whitaker. So what do you do? How do you dodge?
Let's see. I tried to cast something. I think I just do a nice little dodge roll.
Just a smooth dodge.
over to my right.
Cool.
But you know, I finish in that cool stance where like my hands kind of on the ground. and I'm,
Superhero
like,
pose.
Yeah.
Spider-Man.
That's sick. So that ends the Scion's turn, and therefore Quavo is unfrozen. And so then we go to who is it? Gobi.
Okay. I will step around my now unfrozen friend, and I will swing with my pickaxe, which is Warhammer stats. So it's just my little miner's pickaxe.
I love it.
And I'm swinging at 2-handed. So does a 16 hit?
Yes.
All right.
Where are you swinging it?
I'm going for that same good left thigh. I
Okay.
feel like we're really gonna wear
Nice.
it down. I
Sure.
think.
Yeah.
Okay.
Drop
Nice
into his
scratch.
knee.
Oh, actually, I can only swing it one-handed because I was like, I think the way it goes is because I'm like using magic all the time. If I want to switch into using melee, I either have to, I have to either have a free hand or do it, or I have to take a whole turn to like, I put away my orb by two-handed, so I'm one-handed. But it's still super tight. It's still a D8.
It's still super tight.
It's very cool and everyone's inspired. And I do 8 damage.
Nice.
It's a
Wow.
really good day for
Okay.
bludgeoning damage. Right at the left eye. I'm working on the scratch. That's our
So-
It's
opening.
bludgeoning.
The left thigh.
Yeah.
He's now kind of like
You
The
crack
left
you
thigh.
get him, and
GD.
then when he gets up, he's kind of limping with that left leg now.
Very cool. Very tight. And I say, hell yeah. Because I'm just trying to remember what my guy's voice sounds
Was
like.
it?
No,
Was it
that's-
Southern?
It was Southern.
Yeah,
Hell
hell yeah.
Oh, hell
Just
yeah.
like Mama used to
Yep.
make.
Come
Come to daddy.
Nice.
Oh, I
And we,
forgot his catchphrase.
Yeah.
Come to daddy.
It's
oh yeah,
tight.
he uses that all the time.
I know.
Nice.
It is cool.
Too long.
I've heard, how
Yeah.
could you
I
forget?
know. I'm sorry, guys. I should have said that last round.
We go to Ezekiel.
Okay. I'm staring Lil Nate down. I'm waiting for him to do something.
This sign doesn't have a sort of like circle attack.
So from yeah,
Seems like he might. Some tentacle thing. In the screen.
from here, again, my eyes roll into the back of my head, and I begin to search not for an inspiring spirit, but for a spirit with the best insults around.
Oh, nice.
And I reach deep and I find the dirtiest spirit I can find, and I just start shouting insults at the deep scion.
Okay.
And I say, "Oh, you are a most notable coward, an infinite and endless liar, an hourly promise breaker, the owner of not one good quality."
Damn.
Not one good quality.
That's what I shout at him.
Damn.
I'm
And
gonna use that one.
I say dick.
he has to make a wisdom saving throw.
As diagram.
Dude, this guy's wisdom has to suck, right? Maybe.
He rolls a 10.
Little Nate thinks
He rolls a 10.
Yeah.
Oh, baby.
That's music to my ears. He does not succeed.
So he isn't clearly insulted.
He is.
You've cut deep.
Yeah.
You've cut deep.
He takes 1d4 damage.
Oh my god.
Psychic.
Psychic
Insult.
damage.
Hey, it's
4.
Yes.
Oh my god.
He takes
What?
4 psychic
He
damage
doesn't-
and has disadvantage on his next attack roll this round.
17 damage to this guy.
Going in,
That's
dude.
amazing.
I really wish
Um,
that had been the killing blow.
dude,
So
Oh!
Ah!
I am dead from the insults.
That ends my turn.
Then we go to Nate.
So,
So Nate's number 3.
Always a funny sentence.
And
No, you can still use it. Just
he is gonna
I'm gonna use the guy.
just
That makes sense.
walk up and attack and swing his brave scimitar at the scion.
Grog
He
thinks to himself, Daddy boy knight.
oh.
Little knight.
It might.
big high, big
I'm
high.
starting to find it.
So he swings. He swing.
God,
He hits for.
Long and uncle.
what is-
uncle.
is it- sorry,
Little Nate's my kid? No. Nephew.
His scimitar.
So this is all in my head. So
I
you
feel
guys
like
can't hear this.
when Lil Nate is running up, we all
yeah.
turn and look at him like
Huh?
shocked.
I'm willing to
But
say this came as a surprise to me as well.
what Lil
All
Nate?
I know Lil Nate to be is kind of the one who hangs back. So this
Yeah.
is his big moment.
He was extremely inspired
This is his debut.
by. He was
Nate's
inspired by
debut.
Ezekiel, so he
Character
hits
development.
his scimitar with
Saw that roll.
Same,
Oh,
yeah.
boys.
with a for 2 damage. So he
Attaboy.
like he kind of what?
I said, "Attaboy."
Yeah, he kind of slides and does 2 or yeah, does 2 damage.
So, did he use the bardic inspiration to hit him?
Not yet. He
You
then
can also use it on his damage if he wants.
yeah.
Oh.
So he slides, he slashes him, and then he turns and as a frog leaps to
Whoa!
the side and goes to bite him.
What?
And
My first
he
choice.
hits for and he uses bardic inspiration, which is a d6.
Yeah, it gives him an extra d6, either to hit or to his damage, whatever he wants.
Okay, so he hits. So his damage. So 2 plus. So 4. So he bites him for 4. He like kind of latches on to like the side of his head, and the scion's like just trying to
Yes,
like
absolutely.
flinging him off now.
Yeah, get him up there.
Trying
Then we go to
this.
Quavo.
Sounds of fighting.
Yeah,
Wow.
dude, look at Wow.
Didn't see that
Wow.
coming.
There we
That's
go.
amazing.
What a moment.
So he used his bardic inspiration.
He used it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Back in the
John
swing
Moore.
of things, Quavo does a little spin move with his sword to have it pointed right at that left thigh,
Thank God.
having observed and frozen behind
Yes.
the eyes, and goes for a stab.
Yeah, baby.
All right.
He
Little Nick
Ah.
Oh, mate.
he rolls a 19.
He hits.
um,
Oh, yeah, he does.
and d6 plus 2,
Like,
4 damage.
4 damage.
Destroyed by it.
Fucking crashing.
I mean, this is a very
Is he
different.
still
than
alive?
The goblin
The
fight.
goblin fight.
Yeah, this is great.
We got into the rhythm. We hadn't fought in a while.
Yeah, exactly. Warm up round. Everyone know that warm up round doesn't
Just
count.
following Will
And
Nate's
then
lead right now.
we go to Grog.
Wait, can I ask how
Oh,
that
yeah.
goes? Where exactly you stab? You're going for the
Oh,
left
yeah.
thigh.
Yeah, how's that?
Yeah.
So the deep sign is like he's limping with it.
Yeah. So I like to imagine he like Quavo's unfrozen and just immediately does the flip move with the
Sick.
sword. Shing shing. He lunges, dodges out of the way. Kind of sidesteps out of the way of who's this?
Me.
You, Gobi. Kind of sidesteps out of the way of Gobi to not hurt his friend, and then BAM! Does it scratch? It scratches again.
How much damage?
I
No,
did 4.
no, he's clearly hurting on his left leg now.
Did,
Yeah.
did Lil Nate get the left leg memo, by the way? When he,
Did
when
it-
he
No,
did the
no,
scimitar?
Did it go
he
through?
was-
Even for the scimitar?
No,
Ah,
he was the
Lil Nate.
right
He's got a
ear.
lot to learn.
Does it go? Does it go through? Does
I'm
it
proud of
pierce?
him.
Through his thigh.
Oh yeah, I thought you already did it.
No, I'm just
Oh,
saying
oh,
like
oh,
for
yeah.
the visuals.
We're
Does
asking
it
for,
go
like, an
through?
extreme
No, it
amount of
doesn't go
flavor
through.
text.
He's
That's how we
he's
get
still
this
walking on
left
his leg.
Wow. Jeez,
Damn.
this
So is there a
guy's-
little bit of a concussive
he's-
like?
But he's for sure limping.
Keep it up,
Dude,
guys.
what?
Everything I know about deep science, their brain is in their left thigh. We gotta hammer down.
So, it's my turn.
Yeah, we go to Grog.
Grog.
So Grog, as a dire wolf, sees that attacks are happening, and dire wolves have pack tactics. So, being
Nice.
near all of these comrades, Grog, already angry, already filled with rage, is
Sure.
inspired by all the attacks, and goes from his angle, so kind of like back left of the Scion's left leg, kind of butt cheek, you know.
Yeah, he goes for butt cheek.
Goes for
haunches?
goes for an attack, goes for a bite. So I now is the sign still glowing with mist, or is that not?
Yeah, I'm still
Wait.
concentrating on it.
I thought Whitaker was not misty.
He got some mist too.
Oh,
I'm not
okay,
concentrating
I'm
on
still
his
missing.
mist.
Yeah,
So, so
It's just following me
Kyle,
around
this is
and
a
around.
question. I think this is a question for you. I have advantage from pack tactics and advantage from.
That's up to Alex.
So it's just one advantage or two advantages?
I think by the
I think
rules,
advantages stack, or they
We
take
looked it up that they don't.
that they don't, but we
But it's
decided
cooler.
It's way more
we
fun.
should.
Cool. So I've got double advantage.
We do,
For this
yeah.
attack.
Yeah.
3 times.
Okay, let's just go ahead and start with that. What is that? 9. And it's a +5 to hit, so 14.
That hits.
No,
But-
but
We're
see
going
if I
for
can
the
get
nat.
yeah, you might get a
Oh,
nat
right.
20.
A 3.
Okay.
Very far.
Highest roll.
Yeah.
Okay, so okay, let's see, 2d6. Oh, sorry. Wait. I actually do. If the target is a creature, it must succeed on a DC 13 strength saving throw or be knocked prone. Oh,
Oh,
so
okay.
strength save,
Strength
and I'll do the
save.
damage.
Wow, a nat 20, 24.
Okay. And I do 5 bite damage.
But he
piercing.
isn't knocked prone.
I'm not
He's
knocked
not
down.
knocked prone. So I bite through the cheek and left leg
For how much?
for 5 damage.
Nice.
And then I think that is going to end my turn.
Okay, we go to Whitaker.
Come on.
Let's see. So Nate is still hanging onto his head.
How's the science left leg looking?
Yeah.
It's pretty. It's pretty. It's pretty gory. It's like
Left leg.
it's bleeding and it's still attached, but it's
What kind of blood
Everybody's
does this
scratched
have?
the same scratch.
Yeah.
So
What kind of
Right.
blood does this scion?
it's black.
Cool.
Yeah, yeah.
Kind of
It's
absorbs
oozing
light.
black. Yeah.
You could have said anything except red. It would have
Yeah.
been cool.
It's a blow.
I want
Flabbergasted.
to try this again. This guiding bolt spell.
Oh God, I'm
Yeah.
so sorry,
No,
guys.
that's all right.
That was an
Uh-oh.
accident.
That's
No,
gonna
that's
actually
good.
look kind of awesome.
Oh.
So, D20 to see if it lands.
Hey,
So,
can you make sure that the stove is on low? The stove top?
this spell, I had to think about it for a quick second. So, guiding bolt. So Whitaker's gonna try it again, and actually he starts to concentrate. You concentrate for a moment, and he's looking down, and then his right hand. There basically is this gauntlet that's starting to form around his hand. Okay,
Ooh.
and it's
That's
white
sick.
and it's kind of bright. Okay, and so he's looking and he's holding it for a second, looking down, and then all of a sudden he lunges and throws his fist.
Oh, that's
So that's the hope. Okay, an 8. Now I have
Yeah, you have advantage.
Double advantage.
Okay, so I can roll
Oh,
it
with
again.
pack tactics, he also
No,
has.
no,
double
he has the silvery barb,
The
the mist around him.
mist
It will
around
go
him.
away
Oh
after this
yeah,
turn.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Oh,
Okay. This
One more,
rut
one
is
more.
killing me.
oh, lovely.
Now is
19.
good.
Lovely.
Great,
Nineteen.
great. You
So
hit.
it hits,
Yes.
and then it says, on a hit, target takes 4d6 of radiant damage.
Oh my
So-
gosh, dude!
Big hit, big hit.
That is a big hit.
So 5,
5, 8,
8, 8, 11,
11,
and a 1.
12.
So
12.
12 damage.
Clean 12
That
damage.
is smart.
So you
It's
have
still
connected.
alive.
Yeah, make sure I did that right.
Yeah, no, you're good. And it's is that a specific type of? It's radiant, if that means
Radiant
anything.
damage, if
That-
that means anything.
Radiant damage. So, whew, man, that. So, what does radiant damage look like?
That's
What
what I
So-
was
happens?
wondering.
So basically,
Well, no, like what?
Oh,
like I'm
okay.
saying,
Oh,
just like
shucks.
In my
just-
mind,
like what does this spell look like? I'm saying.
sure.
It doesn't
so,
radiant damage. doesn't
So what I'm ideally doing. So I tried to do the guiding bolt. Did you hear the first part though? I was kind of excited about it. So I'm gonna just retell it. So I before I'm trying my guiding bolt spell again, and I'm looking down, and you guys maybe notice me, maybe not. But essentially, this white gauntlet starts to form around my right fist, and it's just what's the word? I mean, not misty, but just glowing, kind of shining around my arm. And so I go, and then I throw it. I landed for 12 damage. And radiant damage to me is I don't know, it's maybe stunning or kind of explosive and bright.
Cool.
It just happens all at once, but I think it's different than flame because it's not
Yeah.
burn damage, right? So, my gut would be that I was
Like
just curious
sunburn?
if it was any kind of any kind of heat kind of damage would do.
Yeah, he
to him
so the scion
specifically.
you start to notice blisters forming on its skin, and they're kind of popping, and he's kind of like squirming in pain.
Radiant damage to radioactive damage.
Yeah.
Real quick.
Yeah.
Sure.
And so then does that end your
Yeah, and I got him right on the chin.
Oh, that's good. That's good. Okay, so his blisters are forming on his
Yeah,
face.
I got him right on the chin.
So then the scion is just enraged, and so takes the tentacle rod again and goes for Gobi. Let's see.
13.
That hits.
Spike.
It was over 20. Where's the?
Shite.
Damage was
No, not
It's
the
over
20.
20.
Oh, there it is. Yeah, that hits. 23. And then it hits for 4 damage on Gobi for 1 tentacle. The second tentacle he aims at who's orange?
I believe that's Whitaker.
Whitaker. He rolls an 11.
Does not hit.
Does not hit, so the second tentacle misses. The third tentacle is being aimed at Grog.
keep waiting for one of these
I
things to
know.
go all the way over here.
Oh yeah, the range
He
of the
throws
tentacles
the
is
tentacle
100
spear.
feet.
So
It's harder for.
rolls an 18 and hits for 5 damage on Grog. And then with his he then like puts down, doesn't put down, but like just kind of flings to his side the rod and lunges at Quavo to try to bite him, and that is a 18 to hit.
Just made against the target.
Wait, I am 18. It does hit.
It does hit. So hits for 9 damage.
Cool.
How deep?
Like 20.
Oh, okay.
What did he land?
9 damage.
Oh, mama, he's pissed.
Wait, how much do you have?
Oh wait, no. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. It's not 9. I was reading the wrong thing.
It's not 9.
It's 40.
16.
Quavo can
It's
take it.
90.
Quavo
it's
can
8.
take it.
It's 8.
Oh.
Oh.
Um,
I was like, oh, it's like 2. It's 8.
okay, then
I fucking take.
we go to Gobi.
I'm gonna make a quick comment on for radiant damage. Not that the deep scion wasn't already glowing, but thanks to the mystical dim light glittering on the target that I added with my white fist, he's anyone who does an attack roll gets more, I guess, another advantage.
We're the advantage team.
Oh,
That's
hell
good.
Team advantage.
That's
So
awesome.
The next
Because
person
we're bad
who
at
hits him.
rolling.
Yeah, exactly. We need it, honestly.
And yeah, we go to Gobi.
yeah. Okay.
Water.
I just go. Ow! God damn!
Takes a sip of whiskey.
Then I just go back at it, like I'm saving these spell slots for later or something. So I hit him with the warhammer again.
Nice.
17 to hit.
That hits.
Still one-handed. That's cool. Like keeping that magic as an option. 1d8 plus 1. 4 damage. So
Okay.
just finishing my last swing, coming back through again on the left leg.
Damn.
With the pickaxe.
That left leg is off
Oh.
now.
Whoa.
And he is
the leg off?
hopping. He's hopping around.
Good. Good.
Go, boys!
He's using his
I was
tentacle
smart.
pole as like a stilt.
As the leg
Yeah.
flies off, Grog, as the direwolf, catches it in his mouth and just kind of
I
numbers,
love
kind
it.
of plays with it.
At the end of my turn, I
good
do
boy.
say like,
Good boy.
I say, like, Little Nate, get down from there, I'll catch you.
That's good. Then we go to Ezekiel.
Okay. Ezekiel. Ezekiel is still concentrating on the mist around him. So he just used the guiding bolt advantage.
I didn't use any advantage.
Oh, okay.
Sorry. I guess I should have gone for a match. I
Alright.
didn't think about it. I was all excited
So
about
that's,
it.
we still got it.
Fresh wax that you just got to use.
Let's see. I'm going to.
Forget. I say come to daddy.
Yeah.
I'm trying to establish
No,
more
I
than
know.
me. I say, Little Nate.
Make a habit. Come to daddy.
Little Nate has 5 daddies now.
Five dads and 5
To be clear, I'm his uncle.
Oh, yeah, true.
But you're
true.
his daddy.
My son.
My
I'm
son.
a nephew.
My son.
I'm your uncle.
Okay.
This
This
thing's a
time
beast.
I'm going to.
No, it's not.
You know what? I see him. I see that he was the insult worked, and I'm just gonna lash another one out.
Oh,
Great
that's
call.
good.
Great call.
I'm just actually. I'm not even seeing that it works. I'm just keep on going.
Yeah,
You're in
that's
a
good.
spiteful mood.
Like while everybody's skirmishing,
And it's
like a cloud of
echoing
dust over
around
him,
the
yeah,
cave.
I'm just like, you piece.
And Nick Cannon steps
So
out.
this time,
Wild
Wow,
enough.
now that's
God.
this time I say,
Special guest star, Ezekiel. Plenty.
plenty of
Oh, what are you, starveling? You elf skin, you dried neat's tongue, balls pizzle, you stockfish. That's what I'm yelling.
Oh my gosh.
Fish.
And what do I? And I'm rolling wisdom.
Yeah, it's wisdom.
A 6.
Yeah, boy.
Huh.
It does succeed, and you take another
Big money.
3 psychic damage.
Ah!
3 psychic damage.
My brain.
And you know what? You're gonna have disadvantage on your next attack roll this round.
So
You son of a bitch.
You son of a bitch.
Do you have any idea
what you
the scion
We got you on it.
looks at you. He stands hobbling on his
Yeah.
staff.
It was
on
only
his
a matter of
tentacle
time.
rod.
dude.
Makes his eyes at Ezekiel.
Locks
Locks eyes with Ezekiel. Raises his finger as if to respond, and then collapses.
Gosh.
Dead.
What?
Died of
Good
an
job.
insult.
Good job.
Jesus.
I think it was the stockfish that really did him in.
I don't know. It might have been
I
Skull's
think
pistol.
But yeah,
Elf
bulls?
skin?
I thought it was balls bizzle. I was like, what?
So the scion is now lying dead with the tentacle rod next to him.
Lil Nate's
tentacle
still
rod.
biting his neck.
Loser.
The tentacle rod next
Fair
to him,
game.
lying next to him.
I am just I maintain eye contact with him as he's going down,
What the hell was that?
and then all of the mist disperses from him and comes back to me and funnels into my orb.
That's so tight.
Damn.
Anybody else see that?
Quavo
Well-
cleans the blade and says, I've never fought anything like that, gentlemen. And then sheaths.
I feel like when Gobi catches Lil Nate, he sees that Grog's back is wide open for,
Absolutely,
mount.
I do. Yeah.
and Lil Nate is now riding on my back.
My uncle's back. That's good.
Dire Wolf mount.
Okay.
Yeah.
Does anything happen?
I was gonna say,
in the
yo.
room?
Nothing happened.
Alright, let's keep it down.
So it's peaceful.
There's a rod with
Yeah, I
tentacles
was
on
gonna
it, though.
say, what's
We
that?
should-
What's
I'm
that
still
rock?
We should
wolf.
grab
I'm gonna
the-
maintain being a wolf,
Okay.
just so we know.
At this point, is our wolf who can't speak to us the only one who knows what's in this room?
I guess so.
The rest of us
Yeah.
never made it over here.
guess so.
So, but there's people in here.
I feel like Gobi can see.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, are
Yeah.
we able
Like-
to see? Like, whoa, there's a lot.
I mean,
No,
from this
yeah.
angle,
ton of people
I feel
in
We
like-
just know there's a path, I feel
Okay.
like.
Yeah, I think maybe
You know?
I would, from what
That's pretty funny.
I've taken in at this point already, is I probably would go into here and maybe start
Yeah.
Check
checking
on the
out some of
people.
these
Looking around.
people.
You see,
Quavo also, yeah.
like, nothing has changed. So the cultists are still, or all the cloaked figures are still just facing forward. Kind of eyes, not eyes. Their heads are down, but they're facing the cauldron.
What about the like hostages
Yeah,
people?
cauldron here.
What about a couple
They're
slabs?
still in the same state.
Oh yeah, I gotcha.
Locked. Are they alive? Can I check for a pulse?
They're alive.
Okay.
Let's go
I'll
in
slap
there.
them a little. Wake up! Wake up!
They don't respond.
Oh, jeez. How many are there?
20 maybe in that cave room.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
that's-
Cauldron.
that's about-
Great cauldron, floating cauldron.
Oh, that's better than mine.
Ah.
Cauldron just keeps getting bigger.
Okay. Whose turn is it?
I walk back up, or we're out of
We're
combat.
out of combat.
I walk up to the rest of the group and look down, and I grab the staff with the tentacles. the
Great
rod.
call. Great call.
Amazing.
How big is it compared to me? Was it-
Compared to you, it's like a normal staff size, and the tentacles are kind of flaccidly
Yeah.
draped.
When I pick it up, do I cast detect magic? Do I sense any magic from it? Like a school of magic or like a certain type?
You detect there is magic, but it's not.
Doesn't seem like something I can tap into, probably. Or
It is.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it is. You detect that this item requires attunement.
yes. Okay. Great. Okay. I pick it up and the tentacles are flaccid, and I
Yeah.
look at it and I say, "Oh, I think I need to be attuned to this."
I think I need to
And
attunement.
I throw it over my back, and
I
the
love
tentacles are just kind of flopping. behind me.
That's great.
Nice.
Placidly.
Dude, that's kind of cool.
That's what we say it.
Um,
So what did the tentacles look like?
Tentacles stiffen
Were
up at all, or
They
are
were,
still
you know,
pretty
flaccid.
they loose?
Quavo, having all of us dealt with a threat and seeing that Gobi is checking on these people, starts making a move to kind of peer around the corner. and see. Because I can't talk to you right now in dire wolf form, right?
I can
You could
snarl.
bark, yeah. But yeah, he starts making. He like kind
Yes,
of
no
looks out
question.
to see what's in this room.
Yeah.
So
Oh,
No, go ahead.
Okay. I kind of just look at the group and I say, "You alright, lads?" Like, kind of just checking on everybody, hoping for a head nod, maybe. Everyone's like, "Okay, obviously you don't really know."
I've
what's
already
going on."
walked away.
That's fine.
I'm
Where are you? Just
following Quavo.
okay. I was gonna
As
say
I typically do.
sure. So I'm walking over. I also go and join Quavo, and I don't know. I guess out of combat. The
You're out of
movement is
combat.
Yeah, we're
is
good.
important.
Yeah,
Okay.
I want to
So
say
I come over here. I also pat you on the head when I walk
Nice.
by.
in joining with them as well. I want to say like, y'all hear that? And then specifically, I'm listening for either the presence or lack of the.
Mhm.
Is it still happening?
It's not happening.
mm.
Yeah, I follow.
Y'all hear that?
Nothing.
You all see just the same thing. Is all of the cloaked figures facing the same direction, like upright, kind of, but like still a little bit lifeless, like alive but lifeless, facing the
I
cauldron.
think. Should we investigate the cauldron?
Okay,
Yeah,
wait.
let's-
What
Head
did
and
we
cauldron?
read? Head and cauldron.
Head and cauldron.
So let's
I-
take the scion.
That's I was just gonna
Oh,
say.
that.
Whoa!
great.
I like that. You guys
How-
were thinking a
Take
different
the
way.
scion and put him in it.
Do
Put
we
his
know
head
how
in.
heavy the scion is?
He's like as much as you.
Okay, so like as a group we could kind of carry.
As Mitch,
So-
You can.
yeah.
So I feel like Direwolf Grog pulls at the leg. Kinda sucks.
That's pretty good. That's pretty good.
Processional for the sign.
Come
Mitch,
on, lads.
the player, interpreted that differently. I was thinking that guy was saying like he's still alive because they like only dipped his head in the
Oh,
cauldron.
no.
Like he was only head deep.
Andrew, the player, interpreted it as stick your head in the cauldron. So I'm glad that we watched something
maybe
happen
that
first.
is
Yeah.
We go grab the sign and look over, and Quavo's like, oh,
Doing a handstand.
Just permanently brainwashed for the rest of the game.
Also,
cauldron
like,
stand.
I want to like nuzzle one of the people who's just bobbing around, lifeless. Does anything happen?
You can tell that they're alive, but they don't even
not
notice.
responding.
They don't even respond to you.
Okay.
Entranced.
Then I think we carry the scion over to the cauldron, and I'm gonna de-direwolf. So,
Cool.
which is
What happens to
unfortunate
little
because then
Nate?
the scion kind of falls on top of me. I'm like, oh.
Grog,
No.
I am not getting used to that. I'll tell you that
I'm
right now.
now at this point I've got a sick ass beard from being a direwolf. I've still got the tusks,
Kinda silvery?
and kind of a silver
Dude.
beard. Yeah. So then I'm like, hey Ezekiel, what about that tentacle thing? Maybe the flaccid ones go in there.
Oh, I seem to remember that dwarf upstairs saying the head goes in the cauldron.
Yeah, but hear me out. What if something bad happens?
Yeah, we don't really have any reason to believe that he was giving us good advice.
Like, what if the guy like comes back to life or something?
And we'll fuck him over.
Okay.
He's a
Damn.
bull.
Do we,
That's cool.
is there anybody who wants to go check on that guy before we do anything here?
All right. So I want to walk over to the cauldron and dip my finger in it.
Oh
Okay.
my god.
Nothing happens.
No,
Your
no!
finger becomes
Is-
possessed.
Can I look at the cauldron? What's in the cauldron?
Yeah, it's like what was it like in the laboratory
what's-
again?
yeah,
It
what's-
was
sticky.
was it like green and
Yeah.
wasn't it? It was
Green slime.
It was
Viscous.
green
Viscous.
slime
Viscous.
like.
But
right?
it wasn't very slimy. It was like a residue, wasn't
Yeah,
it?
yeah. We
That-
couldn't
because
get
it was
much.
like
That's
on the
true.
edge of the-
Okay,
There's
so
that
it
much
was
of
same color, but it's like liquid and it's
There's a little
kind of
bit on the
gurgling.
tip.
Is it okay? Bubbling,
It is bubbling.
broiling.
Bubbling and
So
boiling.
nothing happens when I just scoop it up.
With your finger.
Grog, no!
I say,
It's nothing.
I look at you and I say, I think this could be a teaching moment. And I nod my head towards little Nate, who's standing at the back with his swords.
No.
He's ready.
I'm his uncle. I can't do that. And Grog starts to tear up a little bit, realizing that he's become basically a father figure to
That's,
Little Nate.
that's great.
Oh my gosh.
But also Grog grabs Little Nate.
But that is his dad.
And so he's holding Little Nate over the cauldron.
Whoa, whoa, whoa!
Uncle
Okay.
Grog, no! What are you
That's not what
doing?
I meant.
Uncle
That's not what I
Grog,
meant.
Grog, put him down.
Uncle Grog, please
I'll
put me
do it.
down, please, please.
do it.
Don't do it.
That is good for all of us.
No, please, Uncle Grog, please, don't do
Exactly
it.
what we
Uncle
need.
Grog, no,
said it's
please,
teachable.
let me down,
He
please.
dips his feet in.
Nothing happened.
Nothing happens.
Thank God.
So he sets him to the side.
Ezekiel's like,
Yeah. Little
We
Nate-
now know we need to be very
all
clear.
I'm saying is
So-
I don't have a serrated weapon to cut his head off. And I don't know how we're going to get his whole body.
Well, it's only 6 or 7 feet tall. I know he's big, but we can dip his head in,
This is a
right?
hell of a puzzle.
I think we could.
Okay.
Quavo brings
we work
his
as a team.
Yeah, we
yeah.
got a sword.
Sword.
Let's do it.
I also want to can I investigate the scion? Like, do we see anything about the scion? Like, what's the scion wearing at this point? Like, let's get real close and
Is it hot?
understand what the
Yeah,
scion
like
is.
check his
honestly,
genitals.
yeah.
and,
Yeah,
like,
yeah, yeah.
You confirm he's male.
They flash-
Okay, cool. And what about his butt?
His butt is
How
flat.
firm is it?
It's
Aw,
flat.
lame.
He's kind of slimy.
Kinda slimy, so
yeah,
I've
he's
got
wearing just
experience
like
with
rags and like you can't really.
All right. All
Just
together,
rags.
boys.
Heave!
Are we heave hoeing,
make a
throwing
strength
him, or
check
are we
to
heave
try and
hoeing,
get his head in
trying
there?
to lop his head
We're
off?
trying to throw him, but we can't. So we just dip his tip.
Dip the tip.
Just the tip.
Dude,
We dip his head in.
Yeah, can we make like a human pyramid to like try to get that
Human
A
leverage?
cheerleader
His head?
based, yeah.
sure. So pause there.
I want
gonna-
Quavo
I'm-
on top of the
Where are you going?
I got a P2.
Okay. Bathroom break. And
Bathroom.
I think he's going
top
to go
off
for
if
his-
anybody wants
for
to.
his feels like
second
another
phase.
fight. Yeah, this feels like
Something
another
to
fight.
Do you want to top off, Alex?
Should cut his head off.
We should have cut his
Actually,
head
I don't know. Keeping his body on maybe not be part of
I was gonna walk up to him and cut his head off, and I was like, all I have is this tentacle stuff. Can't cut heads off.
it. Yeah,
From
Slap.
and a teacup.
You could try insulting it off.
That's true.
Cool. We rule, guys. That was easy.
That thing had killer health. Actually, I might do the same.
I asked this lady a question at 11 a.m. today. She just responded.
Very.
The question was basically an essential part of her job. So basically, like, hey, what's your job again? That's the question, basically.
Nice.
And it took her 9 hours to answer. It's a tough look.
That's tough. I don't know.
Grab my thing.
Hi.
Oh,
Hi, John.
thanks.
Hi, I actually haven't done my job, so that's her answer, by the way. She
Yeah.
basically said, hey, I haven't actually done that yet.
I'd love to get back to you on that.
She was like, let me know if I can help anymore.
More mulled wine for anyone?
Yeah, can you change the music to
Or water?
Can you pass me the ash?
Three?
Yes? No, I will not. No! Exactly why I didn't pass it.
Alex, you got some chili to eat.
Dude, I can't wait for phase 2.
Phase 2.
That's about to happen.
I'm at 12 health. I don't know if I can handle phase
I'm
2.
at 12 health also. I have one.
Don't worry, guys.
1d6 healing potion.
Don't worry. Yeah, that's.
I just think this thing's about to get reanimated. Reanimated at half health.
No, we're just gonna get swarmed by all these bad bodies.
Bad boys.
Yeah, all these freaking sitting around bodies are gonna wreck us.
The bad body.
Yeah, I'm just once again a little perplexed.
You're a little what?
I know
Okay,
Trying
roll.
to saw off his head with
Wait, with
flaccid
your
tentacles.
what? What are you trying to decapitate it with?
Strength?
Or no, what?
Oh,
What
my
weapon?
sword. My longsword.
Okay, do it.
That's
Yeah,
as
and
good as
add
a
your strength modifier.
decapitating- All right, guys. 1, 2, 3.
10,
12.
12, yes.
Come
Okay.
on, come on.
Nice.
Oh my god!
So
For the
as
love
you
of God, yes.
guys are about to dip the head into the cauldron, Quavo slices its head off and it drops
Plop.
into the cauldron.
Ah!
So, it drops into the cauldron, and immediately you feel a pulse come out of the cauldron, and a gust of like faint pale green light pulses into the room.
Oh jeez. What if?
As it passes over all of the cloaked figures, they all immediately, so they were all kind of like kneeling and facing the cauldron. As the light passes over them, they all fall lifeless to the ground. And you stand there kind of momentarily in shock. But then after a moment, they all begin to slowly rise.
We just.
And then they're all now kind of like, you see them all kind of like looking around, confused. They're like looking at their cloaks, like, what the hell is this? And then you hear them, they just begin like murmuring to each other. Like some are begin to recognize each other, and they're like asking if they're okay and stuff. And then within a few moments, it's a room full of just like relief and chatter. And then you hear someone, like you hear some people say just throughout the room, like, how are we supposed to get back to Ozport?
Oh.
They look hostile.
And then, and so,
So I want to shillelagh my whip.
Roll for initiative.
I'm
yes,
imagining all of us literally just turning and being like getting into battle position. Just so
Oh,
ready.
thank God!
you guys are kind of just like looking around in shock. Or you can, or does anyone do anything
I
differently?
actually like, assuming you guys are gonna take care of what's going on here. I want to come back and check on the people who are kind of
Yeah,
like,
good.
drunk in the
Yeah,
other-
so they're all kind of doing the same thing, where they're like, kind of groggily.
Groggily?
They're all
As Grog would.
What'd
do.
you call me?
No, yeah, they're kind of like.
Well, is everybody acting like me?
Everybody starts talking in a New Zealand accent. No, they're kind of like waking up out of whatever was kind of cursing them, and they're just like, what's going on?
Dude,
They're like,
what?
just like, yeah, coming back to. And so, as, yeah, what's up?
Oh, I was just gonna say, Quavo
Yeah.
sheaths his sword and says, "People of Ozport, we've come to rescue you."
They're all like kind of talking to each other, and it's a big room of people, so they don't really.
yeah.
Or
Okay.
see someone up front like,
Grog-
sees
yeah,
that
sorry,
and is like,
Grog-
oh, thanks.
Grog grabs Quavo's pits and lifts him high.
Yeah.
It says, "Try again, little man."
You try again?
Target little man.
I don't know if it'll work. I don't think it's part of the story.
No,
So-
I insist.
Yeah, see, I'm not letting you down.
So you guys are standing now, just like kind of where the cauldron is, and you're looking out kind of onto the crowd of people, and you notice like through the crowd, like a little bobbing hat, like a pointed
Oh,
hat
hell
in the
yeah.
crowd,
There we go.
coming hurriedly towards you, stopping a few times quickly on the way to like say hello to somebody or check to make sure people are all right. And as the bobbing hat, the little hat draws closer to you, you see an old gnome with a long white beard coming toward you with glee on his face. He stops in front of you all, smiling proudly, taking time to examine and acknowledge each of you, just like looking into your eyes, smiling
I
in
just have, like, an
admiration.
eyebrow raised at him.
Yeah.
His eyes, he starts to even get a little misty, but he's not crying. And finally he says to you all, I can hardly believe my eyes that you're here. You found us, reversed the curse, defeated the devoted soul. I knew I chose wisely with this team. Oh, forgive me, gentlemen. I am Dr. Bodynock Flynt. And before you even have time to respond, he quickly turns to address the room, and he kind of says in this booming voice to the room,
Oh, this is the guy we were looking for.
Yeah.
Guys.
Ladies and gentlemen, the evil we have been experiencing here for quite some time has been defeated by these brave young men who stand before you. And he points proudly and the crowd lets out a woo, a cheer. And he continues to the crowd. Now, I'm sure the last thing you want to do is stay here for a moment longer. No, I've been informed my gondola down to Allsport has been broken. So give us a moment as we get that fixed up, and we'll begin the transport down to the city. And he turns to you guys again, and he says, "Oh, gentlemen, we obviously have much to catch up on, but I could use some help quickly. Now, have any of you used a ripple wick before?"
Who claimed to have known what his inventions were? in the
Grog's
previous
darting
room?
around the,
Yeah.
darting his eyes around the group. And
Oh,
like,
perfect. Grog, yes.
Yes, exactly.
Okay,
I know what they
and
do.
one more. Who else? I could use another hand with the gondola. And okay, Whitaker, thank you. Yes, please.
Whitaker, I figure you've rippled a wick before.
Yeah.
Get in there.
I've only gizmo locked.
And so he so the two of you go help him. He kind of takes you down a little corridor.
Skin goes pale. Grog's skin goes pale.
Okay, great.
Frightened by the fact that he's going to have to fess up to him.
You're gonna ripple a
figuring
wick.
this out.
So you guys go and help. So he takes you down like a little offshoot path. So you know that like kind of leads out to a, like kind of cliff clearing that on the side of the mountain where the gondola gets to. And so you can see that the gondola is there, and the ripple wick is a invention that helps repair gondolas. And so
That's so convenient.
Yes.
and so
makes a lot of
you
This is way easier than I thought it was.
so you
As you ripple
guys
wicks.
help him fix the gondola, and then the three of you others,
Do they gain proficiency in ripple wicks?
yeah, of course, yeah,
Sick.
Ripple wick.
plus
Where
10
does
on
that
any
go?
ripple wick
Does that go with
rolls.
flaws?
And then the three of you are staying behind and just like checking on some of the people.
Yeah, for sure.
I say, you know,
Oh, hey, I'll be the Zeke stands.
I'm poking the tentacles.
Yeah,
you're still insulting
He's
people in the
flopping the
room.
tentacles around.
Yeah, are you guys doing anything while they're fixing the
Yeah, I
gondola?
mean, I at least lean into Quavo. I'm just like,
Lean into Quavo.
I lean in.
Wait, are we gonna kiss?
you.
Right?
Yeah.
I've been
I
waiting
just,
to
I just
do
say
this.
like, well, I think that might not be your jacket anymore. We'll find out in due time. I'm zipped lips over here, sealed shut.
I'm just sort of like scanning the room, trying to see if there's anybody like in dire need of
Yeah.
like, is anybody in critical condition or anything?
No, everybody
to
is
be, like,
like
unarmed.
okay, just confused.
Yeah, okay,
and
cool.
they're all okay.
Then I do nothing.
Can I ask another question?
Yeah.
Well, I guess we didn't really have a conversation. Maybe with Asdoc, I know we did, but did we ask him about what like the people, what were they called? The people who were like the snatchers?
Snatchers?
The snatchers.
Are these people dressed like the snatchers?
Similarly,
ever saw
but
them,
not. But yeah, they're just like kind of standard cloaks, and
Sure,
they're like,
got
what
it.
the hell am I?
Were those
Right.
cultists
Like-
we killed before?
Dressed
They're
like
like
snatchers?
different.
They're different.
They
Yeah,
were
yeah.
like
Those
We have
were
not seen a
dressed-
snatcher.
Yeah, you've
We've
not
not
seen
seen
a
a
snatcher.
snatcher.
So,
Okay,
so
so we
they're
wouldn't
but they were
know.
dressed differently than
Gotcha.
the other.
Then they were
cloaks.
described.
Quavo's
Probably ask.
is just having miscellaneous conversations
Yeah.
with people, and asking what their experience was like. Do they remember? Do you remember anything?
It's good.
What do you got?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, one person says that they can't really remember. They just remember waking up one night to some cloaked figures in their home, basically like putting something over their mouth and then just taking them in the night, and then with the thing over their mouth, that put them to sleep. It was like a chloroform situation.
Chloroform. Yeah. It was.
Yeah. And then that was the last thing they remember, and now they're here.
No, here.
Chloroform situation.
I'm eavesdropping.
Yeah,
I listen to that.
Played at the Eastern.
And I think they're opening for Shane T, right?
Yeah.
But
Can somebody grab my trident for me while I'm out using the ripple wick?
That's fair.
I'm standing like kind of leaned up against the wall, like listening to the conversations, and I look back over my shoulder and see the trident still impaled in the wall, and I shrug and I walk over and try to pull it out of the wall.
Hey,
roll to see if you pull it out of the wall.
yeah, it's
Wait,
in there
wait,
pretty
he
deep, I'm not
launched
gonna lie. Yeah, I launched that.
Did it stick in the wall?
Mm.
Are you sure?
It's a 9.
It's a 9 plus anything.
You went,
Oh, that's with a -1.
Oh,
Jesus.
Nope, you don't pull it out of the wall.
Okay, I'm sitting there trying.
That's so funny.
And
try as you might.
I roll my eyes and rub my orb and conjure an unseen servant. an invisible force.
Oh.
Like a spirit from the other side.
Uh-huh.
I use a spell slot to summon an unseen servant, and I say, "Oh, help me out here, buddy." And together, me and the unseen servant to try and pull the.
All right,
pull the
roll
stuff.
again.
Can I get like advantage on this one with the help of the
Yeah.
unseen servant?
Yeah.
Big money.
Any more than that.
Okay, 18.
Yeah, you pull it out.
I pull it out and I say,
Swing.
"Thanks, little guy."
What is your unseen servant?
Yeah.
Oh, he's unseen. I have no
He's
idea.
unseen.
How about
So
that?
he-
I just know he's there.
About your
That's
height.
Okay, so
You
as
just used a spell.
so you pull it out, and y'all are there in the cave for a while, talking to people, making sure people are all right. Y'all are helping Dr. Flint fix
No,
the
like
gondola.
it's way easier than I thought it was gonna be.
You're doing
Um,
great, man.
Yeah, do you
Good
do
job.
anything while you're fixing the gondola?
I mean, like I
Yes.
definitely knew how to do this,
Yeah.
but you're picking it up really easily, like almost as easily as I already did.
Dr. Flint's just chuckling to himself as you're saying that.
And
He
I-
knows.
Yeah.
Do we have any kind of conversation? I say, you did good back there. And I say, what's it like being a wolf?
A wolf?
Yeah, you were
As
a wolf.
if he
weren't
doesn't
you?
understand that he was a wolf.
What's it like being one though? I mean, you were one. Like you turned into one. That's so like, what's that like? Is my
Yeah,
question.
Grog just tries to feign that he didn't know he was a wolf. Tries to be cool with his new silver beard and tusks. What exactly? A wolf? I remember the wet spear.
So you don't remember what when you turn?
remember anything.
When I turn, like to attack.
Dr. Flint's still chuckling to himself.
To turn.
No, I'm just messing. I was a wolf. That was sick. Pretty much feels like a wolf.
I just go.
What do you mean?
Oh. All right.
So y'all do that, and then y'all get back to. So the two of you and Dr. Flint come back into the cave, and now the six of you, the seven of you, I guess with Nate, are back together, and and then Dr. Flint momentarily disappears to kind of bring back all sorts of like food and drink for you all, and then like some just like bread and stuff for a lot of the other people here. But then he turns to y'all and says, "Now, gentlemen, we have quite a bit to catch up on. So now, if you would, please, I invite you to join me in my study."
I nod.
Because we're at his place, right?
You're in his house.
Wow.
Is
Super sketchy
study the one with the telescope?
No, it was one floor below.
Doctor.
Oh, wait, do you ask him that?
Yeah, that's what I was asking.
Oh, no, it's what was this? What was
The one with the bed.
No, it's the one. No, it's the one below the one with the telescope. The one with the desk. If you saw that.
Yeah, it had all the shit.
Dr.
on it.
Flint,
Yes.
did you know that there was a small man hiding underneath your bed?
Beneath my bed. What did he look like?
Naked.
Well, frankly, I forget, but he looked scared. I can tell you that.
I believe he was a dwarf.
Dwarf. Was he
Yeah,
not
it looked about like
mistaken.
me.
Yeah.
I forget
Can't remember what he looks like.
It was like looking into a
He
mirror.
looked pretty
Yeah.
normal to me. I guess he looks unique to y'all.
Dwarf. What and he was under my bed. Perhaps that was
Well, now he's in your
You do,
wardrobe.
yeah. They say, you might have to sleep somewhere else.
no
We
matter.
sincerely
That's
apologize.
what I think it is. I believe that is my dear friend Dr. Shebus.
Dr. Sebus, I should have known.
You'll meet him at some point.
It's the only name I've written down in
You
my
have
notes.
met him.
I have a
Um,
book written by him.
Yeah.
Well, so yeah, you actually
Would you like us to fetch Dr. Shebus for you?
we
We're going up to the study.
yeah you're
Pass him.
right. So as y'all are walking up to the study, so the suite is like one below, and so y'all like enter back into the suite, and Dr. Flint says, "You said he's in the wardrobe, is that right?" And he opens it up, and Dr. Shebus is sitting in the wardrobe, just kind of like rubbing his eyes. And Dr. Flint says, "Ronald, thought they'd taken you. And they embrace. And Dr. Flynt says, lads, I'd like you to meet Dr. Ronald Shebus, a dear friend and colleague at the Malachi School. He is greatly to thank for his knowledge of, what all we experienced today. And so without him, none of us might be standing here today.
Does he notice one of his jackets missing?
And as he opens, as Dr. Flynt opens the wardrobe, he's like kind of counting through, or he's like, and then he looks at Quavo, he looks at Quavo, and he says, "You know what, lad? I think that suits you better."
Oh.
Quavo performs a gnome's bow, as shown.
Yes, please. As demonstrated.
And Dr. Flynt returns.
Very good. Very good.
Lovely.
Flourish.
And so, Sheba says, he's like still kind of out of it. He says, "Oh, lads, thank you for this," and he like kind of gestures to the wardrobe, and he starts explaining to Dr. Flynt. He said, "You almost had me there, Buddy Knock, but I managed to sneak away and hid under your bed. Thank you for that." And then he kind of like gathers himself and he says, "Well, I best be on my way. I'm not in my right mind." And he is still kind of clearly recovering, and because he's old.
Is the gondola fixed now?
Yeah, the gondola is fixed
okay,
now.
cool.
And so he,
Can be on his
but he doesn't go back to Osport. He makes, well, you don't know where he goes, I guess.
He goes elsewhere.
He just
goes
leaves?
elsewhere. Yeah, he just leaves.
Upstairs or downstairs?
He goes, no, I guess he
can
would
I-
take the gondola down. Yeah.
Okay.
Can I just... I almost want to grab him and keep him. Just for the next conversation.
How much
Not
do
keep
you
him,
want
keep
to
him.
grab
like,
him though? Do you want to do that like as your character, or do you feel like you want to do that?
Would Whitaker grab him?
Yeah, Ian, similarly. I was thinking the same thing. But I don't think...
I mean, I think
Yeah.
Whitaker would... I think Whitaker... He's going to just grab him on the shoulder for a second and
Yeah.
say...
I think that's...
like to Dr. Body Knocking and go, "What do you mean he was responsible for what happened today?"
No, he wasn't responsible. I said he is to
That's
to
what I
thank.
needed to check.
He is to thank for
To thank for the beast.
no, to thank that we are that we know how to why we were saved today, and how we were able to escape the evil that was done today. It was only thought through was only known
Okay.
through Dr. Shebus.
Okay.
He
That
did.
is it.
He did
I
tell.
like-
He did tell us to put the head in the cauldron.
That's right.
He knew how to end this curse.
I pat him on the back. Dr. Shebus.
Yeah, but
I think that was
Yeah.
in character.
But,
I think that was very
Yeah,
in
that was
character.
good. That was good.
The whole interaction.
And you send him on his way.
Yeah, he's
Is
good.
that- Oh, okay.
Hey, bastard.
He got security clearance.
You are good free to go.
He kind of
You're
waves
good.
over his
Go
ahead.
shoulder and leaves.
I'm not suspicious of him, but I am just like wondering what
Not
happened. to him.
superstitious.
But he's on his way out.
He needs some
I
time
won't
to
stop
recover.
him. I'm not gonna cloud his
Yeah.
recovery space.
So Dr. Flynt ushers you guys back now up to his study, and he gets you some tea, some mulled wine, whatever you need, some snacks. And yeah, so y'all are kind of settled. There's some nice comfy chairs in there, and you're like recovering. And he says, "Now, travelers, based on what has happened here tonight, at last, I am able to tell you without question why I've brought you here. As I stand before you, that initial hunch that I wrote you about has grown into a dark certainty that I wish we could all escape. Travelers, what you witnessed today, and thwarted for that matter, was an attempt at building an army of unwilling servants, precious lives that are now free. You defeated evil recruits that have been offered immortality in a corrupt world in exchange for their souls. Allow me to explain. 1,000 years ago, the Zanderveldians made Axo's initial expedition to AX-1, the largest moon that you see above us. With the assistance of my father, Dr. Bronco Flynt, a professor and inventor such as I am, several explorers developed magic-enhanced ships and equipment carried by giant eagles and dragons through the atmosphere of our planet and on to AX-1.
Fucking sick.
When they arrived, they immediately discovered subtle remnants of ancient life that had been there before, though unlike the world we live in. Among those explorers was a dark elf and a former classmate of my father by the name of Phineas Trask, a powerful presence with an interest in radically changing the world. On his leg of the expedition, Trask came upon a stone out of the dusk that was a peculiar shape. As soon as he picked it up, it immediately opened in his hands to reveal a scroll. On the scroll was written a prophecy, telling of an ancient ruler of dark, horrific origin who would bring order to the world through the hands of a willing usher, who, by fulfilling his duty of bringing this ruler to life and power, would receive eternal glory and immortality in the reformed land under the reign of this ruler. In this new land, all freedom and choice for those who do not worship would be lost. It would be a torturous servitude kept alive by the sleeper of the moon and his disciples forever. While they would rule without bounds, all others would be left under a curse with no understanding outside of serving the ruler, much like you saw today. None would die, yet none would live, merely an eternity dedicated to the servitude of a monstrous ruler. However, in order to be brought to life, the sleeper required 3 sources of life in order to achieve its full level of power that would also provide as its physical manifestation. So, there are 3 living beings that have been made immortal through their maintenance of that life source. Immortal, of course, unless they are slain. These sources allow so that the sleeper can only die if all sources of life are also dead. Trask found these sources, and through instruction of the prophecy, through a magic ritual, began the physical manifestation of this ruler. And now, for this past 1,000 years, the sleeper has been resting until those years are up, which is soon. And then with the help of the ruler, or with the help of a ritual, the sleeper shall be awoken.
Sounds familiar.
Now, all this to say, what gives me a glimmer of hope, gentlemen, is that we have a way, albeit a dangerous and unlikely way, but a way to stop this prophecy from being fulfilled. While I have no way of knowing how deep Trask's roots have permeated into Zanderveld, we still have time to eliminate the 3 sources of life before the ritual is complete. As you can imagine, I cannot be sure of where or what these sources of life may be. However, I do have a good feeling about one. Trask's son, Rubius Trask, is the Prime Minister of Strata City, the beating heart of the Sons of Onius. Phineas was one of the first leaders of the Sons of Onius, though the origin of how his family became so central to the religion is unknown. Phineas served as Prime Minister until a few centuries ago, handing over the reins to his son Rubius. Now, there is a dragon, the Brass Wraith, that the Trasks claim is a conduit to the god of Prosper, Onius, which resides around and protects Trask Manor, and it's been there as long as anybody can remember. My hunch is that it's our first source of life that must be destroyed. Now, as much as I wish I could accompany you all to Strata City, I'm afraid with my age it would be wise for me to remain here and provide you with support from the command center. I will continue to diligently research what I can about how to save our world. That said, I have a dear colleague who will be able to get you into Strata City. His name is Captain Ziggy, a lovely dragonborn of the Tropius clan.
Whoa.
They reside on the south side of Strata City, a short journey north of here. And I'll try to inform him right away of your departure. He'll be waiting for you in Tropius. I'd like to give my greatest thanks to you, gentlemen. You give me great hope. Now, I know that was a lot of information, so do you have any questions for me?
Are we the only people you've told about this?
Dr. Shebus and I have been speculating, and along with a few others, for only a short while before I sent you all those letters. And from then on, I've been, I suppose, under this spell until you arrived.
And this Scion, he was just a servant of this sleeper, trying to further this
Yes.
curse of the world.
So what I imagine is these the people of Osport, myself included, who were under this spell, I presume were these unwilling servants, as I mentioned, that would essentially exist in this new reformed world without any sort of control over their actions, but just under a spell for the remainder of their days, for eternity perhaps. And so I assume this is an attempt to build that army.
The beginnings of this army.
So, how did you choose us?
Why? I have my reasons, but you might come to learn them eventually.
So you're not going to tell us?
Roll for it.
I'm Gobi
I was
Longwater,
very
by
confident.
the way. We haven't formally been introduced.
Of course.
Because I just saw this on a posting at the Garland's University. You may be familiar with Garland Olsman's Unified Academy for
Oh,
the
yes.
arcane practice of transmutation of Vindarin.
I believe I put a poster there.
Yeah, so I just saw the poster. It's
Oh,
kind of
yes.
an open invitation, but I suppose I'm acting as envoy for Garland, so
Oh yes.
good to be acquainted with you.
Oh yes, I know Garland well.
Yes.
I know Garland well.
Yes, he was a great force in Finderin, and I'm just here trying to get a little bit of work credit. So to that point, in fact, I actually have something I need you to sign in your own leisure. It's just something if you could sign off on that, and that would be good. I still got to collect a couple more of those, so I guess my job here is not done yet. But, once you get a moment, that would be great.
I, blank, hereby declare that on the date, blank,
Oh my
exhibited
god.
a comprehensive understanding of transmutation magic, demonstrating a mastery
Mitch.
over the arcane art while maintaining a respectable and honorable level of conduct. Very good.
Right, Gobi Longwater right there, and I'm not particularly
suppose
familiar
I
with what
haven't,
today's date is.
That's not really something I trouble myself with.
I suppose I haven't quite experienced your exhibition of comprehensive understanding of transmutation.
Oh,
magic
you
yet,
should have
so
seen
I'll,
me. 'Cause I pulled a trident back there.
Let's
It
hold
was
on to this for a moment.
very well. In good time. I'm sure your approval will mean a lot to the
Absolutely.
folks at the
I
academy.
have no doubt.
So whenever
Okay.
you're ready.
But I'm from an island. Like, nobody lives there. How did you get a letter to me?
In due time, Greg. In due time.
My mind is blown.
So you're not also from academies yourselves?
Yeah, we haven't really talked much.
Somehow Gobi and I have not connected on the connected
Yeah.
dots.
You don't have universities where you're from?
I don't even have parents.
I was at a circus when I got the letter.
A circus?
I was at an inn catching up with an old friend. I don't know how you knew that, but
Any more questions for me?
Yeah, what's Captain Ziggy?
Yes.
What's Ziggy look like?
Well, he's
You
a
said
dragonborn,
dragonborn,
so he's
but-
a he's rather short. He's a rather small fellow.
smaller than me.
No, bigger than you.
Don't get
No
much
one's
smaller than
smaller than you.
In terms of as far as dragonborns go, he's a rather small fellow, but he's quite the pilot, and he's quite the ranger.
Ace pilot.
I've always heard that Dragonborn are like related to a dragon, right? So like, is he brass like the brass wraith?
Oh no, he's not. No, the brass wraith is of ancient origin.
Cool. So like, what color is he?
He's blue. He's light blue.
Sweet. That's
blue.
Grog, you can't be asking what color. Goodness
Grog grew up on
gracious.
an island.
No sense
I
of
say,
political correctness.
so, your father Bronco, that was his name, right? He was close with this Phineas fella.
They were colleagues and classmates, I would say. They were perhaps friends early on, but they
Some sort of rift.
their views of the world, I should say, were very different. Yes.
I'm just curious, did he say anything about maybe what changes Phineas underwent after finding this rock, this stone?
Phineas, he really became a recluse, and many people didn't see him other than when he was in Strata City as Prime Minister. Really, they would just see him really once a month, and when he would come out and give his speeches to the public. But otherwise, he seemed very hungry for power, and he was very much a recluse otherwise.
And so, what gave you and Shebus the idea that this brass wraith could be involved in this whole thing?
Exactly.
Why do you suspect? Do you think it's related to the Trasks? Are they in the know?
I find it peculiar that it was 1,000 years ago when Trask found this prophecy. And Dr. Shebus is, he's actually a professor of ancient prophecies at the Malachi School. And so he is the foremost professional researcher when it comes to these kinds of prophecies. And so he's the one that really knew the details and led me on to this, that Trask, that we knew about the sources of life, we knew about the 1,000 years, and really there was, it almost seemed like the proper deduction that a powerful life being that has been alive for as long as anybody can remember, as if immortal, would be one of these sources of life.
Aye. So it's more of an educated hunch than a accusation.
An educated hunch that I would say is founded in great details and.
So
yeah.
if we had been upon these Trasks, if we meet them and interact with them, should we be wary of them?
Yeah, would you call this an actionable hunch?
Absolutely.
Permission to kill.
Yeah. I believe you. His son Rubius, I believe, is somewhat of a dim-witted, but loyal son. I'm not sure what what him and his father's relationship is like, but I know that Phineas hasn't been seen in quite some years, so who knows where he could be. But
So the Trasks as a whole may not be complicit.
complicit to what?
The knowledge of the wraith being this source of life.
Perhaps, yes. It could be just that only Phineas knows about this, but it could be that Rubius knows as well. I'm not quite sure.
Innocent until proven guilty.
Right.
That's very
That was
noble.
way
of
before
you.
your time.
Very noble of you.
I've got a question for you. So, basically, you're saying you want us, the 5 of us, to go to this city.
6 of us.
The 6 of us. Sorry, little Nate. 6 of us go to a city and kill this dragon. Is what you want us to do.
Why, my lads, I was quite confident and had a very good feeling when I was sending these letters, and I do ask it as a grand favor, but I'm afraid the fate of perhaps Axo as a whole could lie in the 6 of your hands.
I look around the group.
I'm gonna go. Go. Yeah. All right.
Oh.
All right. Another question for you.
All right.
Where is Strata to city.
Yes. So it's
that way.
it is north of here. It's you'll need to pass through first Riddleton, and then you'll need to find Captain Ziggy in Tropius, and he'll need to escort you to Stratus City.
I might be going out on a ledge here.
Tropius.
And maybe you don't have one on you. Have a map? Totally okay if you
Or
don't.
better yet, a gondola that takes us right there.
Not on me, but
Bet we
the
can
the
find
path
one
to
in the
Riddleton
library.
is quite. It's just over the other side of the mountain, and I promise you, it's not as treacherous as Prayers Pass.
I wasn't all that treacherous. We made a friend.
Yeah.
Oh, mate.
Yeah, were you
Uncomfortable smirk.
familiar with the
And I made more than a friend.
yeah the population of bullywugs that were living just down the mountain from
The
you?
glazed tip.
The
The
bully
glazed
was-
tip,
damn.
as well as his
Little
nephew
Nate, speak up.
Smiles.
Introduce yourself, little Nate.
Oh yeah, son, you don't happen to know where my key is, do you? The key to my manor?
Oh, that I have that.
Oh, thank you, sir. That
course, of
must have
course.
been tossed down the side of the mountain.
I have a
at some
lot of your
point.
things.
Why was it tossed down the side of the mountain?
Why, perhaps to keep people out.
Fair.
That did work. A lot of people
So
down
like,
here.
you have a ton of toys and stuff, right? So like, you got anything that could help us, like a ripple wick or something?
On the
But
go.
like for handling wraiths,
Yeah.
like a ripple wick for wraiths.
Well, I do not have a ripple wick for race, but I do. I might have something here, and he goes into it like a little chest thing, and he pulls out a bunch of coins. So he gives each of you 100 gold,
Man, I'm up to 200.
and then he looks at Quavo,
I give you gold.
and he says,
I'm giving you 99. I'm just keeping one.
You got 2 coins.
Oh,
Didn't we
sorry,
get?
sorry.
Did we
Keep
get
on.
gold from?
We did.
That's
Did
one
we
more.
get gold earlier?
Yes.
At some point, I came into 100 gold myself.
But okay.
So
Do
you
we
say-
all have
From the
200?
bullywugs. Now I'm at 200.
Do we all have 200?
I guess so.
He has 1.
I have one.
200
I keep
more or
giving all my
200 total?
gold.
Yeah.
"That's
That's
good."
a
I just
unique
carry one
situation.
gold coin.
Wait, he just gave us 200.
Story arc stuff. You
He
know,
gave
just
you
us
one. He gave each of you 100
Gotcha,
gold.
gotcha.
And then he pulls out a pair of boots, and he says, and he looks at Quavo, and he says, well, my lad, I believe these might only fit your feet, but I believe they'll go nicely with that jacket. These are a pair of rocket boots.
That's what we need for our
Rocket
charge.
Thanks for Quavo.
Yes.
They are they allow the wearer to jump 20 feet into the air once per hour.
Is this like wow? Okay, hell
recharge.
yeah.
That is
Add customize. Oh, sorry. Wait.
once per hour.
Rocket boots.
So once per hour.
Or for him to just jump.
Is it
right
20
Jump.
feet vertical or 20 feet horizontal?
20
That's
feet,
good to
I
know.
guess vertically, but you
At
could.
the apex is 20 feet.
height of 20 feet.
If you were to look at a parabolic travel, Quavo,
I
20. I would say 20 feet, and then you
20
know,
feet total.
20 feet.
Like in combat,
Down.
if he used them, could he jump 20 feet?
In
then
addition
it-
to, yeah,
His movement.
probably.
So it's like a dash, basically.
You
A
can,
dash
you
or a
can
big
20
jump.
feet in any vector you want to.
Sure.
There you go.
How
That's
you
a good
get
way to do it,
down
yeah.
is
Well,
your problem.
yes.
Yeah, technically you could just lay
What
down
Mitch
and
said.
jump, right?
Yes. right.
Lay.
That'd be
Oh, that hurts my back every
A
time.
speeding bullet.
Just soaring.
I just curl into a ball and
Hold
rocket.
your sword like this.
We're
and
gonna
you
have
just
some
lean
sick
over.
combos with
Yeah.
that.
I'm gonna cast jump on you.
Good.
And otherwise, boys, please feel free to rest up here before if you're heading out to Riddleton in the morning. Then
So you don't have a Gizmotron for me.
I don't. Not one that you can have.
Whitaker's gonna
Crimes
say,
offended.
do you think there's any reason for us to go back to
Osborne.
Osport?
Oh no, Osport will be all right. Osport, you've just saved the people of Osport, so it'll be all
I
right.
meant to say Osborne.
Cool.
So would you lads like to rest up here?
I would.
Okay, so he kind of takes y'all to a little corridor that you didn't notice before that has like these little guest rooms
Spat in.
And there are three
what that
rooms. He ushers Grog and Gobi into one of them, and Quavo and Nathaniel into one of them, and then
Sizist.
Size.
Ezekiel and Whitaker into one of them. And then you all are. Oh, you don't have to do it right now, but after the Scion fight, you reach level 3.
Oh my god.
Amazing.
And you're about to long rest.
Yes.
But please.
So we'll level up like in between sessions,
Yeah. That should be
This.
and then long rest. We get our spell slots back and our health.
You do, but yeah. Do you guys do anything before you?
Yeah, for sure. For sure.
Yeah,
We gotta
you
process what just
I
happened.
gotta have a little pill to talk.
Yeah.
Dog.
Who are you with? You
I'm
little
with
Nate?
little Nate.
Yes,
Quit.
this is very important.
Yeah.
I need to know what conversation you're having with little Nate.
Quavo, I'm assuming there's like 2 cots.
Yeah.
Quavo takes a seat next to little Nate on his little cot.
Nice.
puts,
His
puts,
little branded cod.
patent pending. Right? Puts his hand on his left shoulder and says, "You did well today, son. You did better than I did. I don't know if you were paying attention." And then he kind of punches, like, gives him a soft punch in the arm. "You remind me of my youngest brother, Garrett."
The laugh immediately.
Garrett.
Quavo and Garrett.
It's been 7 years since I've seen him. Sorry.
Garrett Timbers.
His name kind of slipped the mind. Woo, but I'm
Nate-
excited to see you continue.
Nate kind of looks sheepishly down, and he looks at Quavo and he says, "Why, thank you, Mr. Quavo. I felt very proud today and very, brave. Thank you." Well.
I'll be right across the room if you need me, son. But I need to get some rest. I don't know if you saw, but I got my shit rocked. And Quavo, with that, goes to bed.
Slow pan to dark, and then we open on the room of Grog. No, I'm just kidding. Oh yeah, right
Grog.
on.
Grog, I gotta admit something. I feel like I'm in a little over my head right now. I'm just gonna say it. Do you?
Over your head?
I
Oh,
mean,
shoot.
it's just like
What?
Over your
what
head.
over your head. Yeah, I'm just. Kind of seems like it's all happening a little fast right now.
Grog takes this opportunity as a wise teenager.
Sure.
Fork looks at Gobi and says, I keep switching between different people's accents. Exactly. You remember what I had to do back then, right?
Turn into a wolf. That's
No.
right. Yeah,
Like a couple of days ago.
turn into a boar.
With the
that's
wet
right.
tip.
Oh, that's right.
You
Yeah.
heavy winks. You heavy winks.
Yeah, I remember.
I can't claim to want to have done that. Grimaces and then kind of smirks to himself. But sometimes you're in over your head, if you know what I mean.
That means a lot, Grog.
Yeah,
that,
yeah.
that does mean a lot. I hope you get a good night's rest.
Yeah, as Grog finishes saying that, he releases his grip and falls back to sleep.
I'll do my wizardly nightly pouring over my tomes, and then I too fall asleep.
I love that.
As we walk into our room, the door closes behind us, and I pull the trident out from behind my back, and I say, "I think this belongs to you."
Thanks, lad. Appreciate you getting it out. Did you have any trouble getting it out of the wall?
Just out of curiosity.
It just seems like that wizard launched it into the wall pretty firm and
No, it wasn't. It wasn't a problem. It wasn't a problem at all.
Good.
I'm gonna roll for deception.
Yeah.
Maybe.
13.
I don't even know what to do with that.
Roll.
Check.
Insight.
Yeah,
Roll
roll.
an insight.
Roll for insight. Do you
Over
see
insight.
past
Believe
that?
me or not.
Yeah,
Yeah.
how do I?
Just D20.
Add your
D20
D20. Just see if you beat
Dude,
him.
that is too good. A 3.
Oh, hook, line, and sinker.
I
Hook, line, and
I
sinker.
see that he buys it. I'm like,
And I pat him on the shoulder and I say, thanks very much.
Oh yeah, you know how to use this thing.
I thought there was one. See, I do, and not always too proud of it, to be honest with you.
Aye, wielding a weapon as fine as that one, I'd be proud. You did good today. You smoked those assholes.
Appreciate it. Thanks for all your support.
And I'm not even gonna bring up that magic fist. Shit was crazy.
Shit was crazy.
Yeah, right. Maybe some other time. And then good night. And then I lay down, facing away.
I kind of squint as he like rolls over. I'm like kind of studying him, trying to get the lay of the land on this guy. I'm trying to figure him out a little bit. And are they bunks?
Cots.
Cots on the floor?
Yeah.
Okay. I sit on my cot and I pull out like some candles and I light them around me and I pull out my crystal ball and I'm just sort of like holding it and I'm trying to like reach out to the spirit world and it's like I see this like flickering in the ball. It's like not really connected, like static on a television kind of thing.
Are you trying to search for anything in particular?
Yeah, honestly, I think I'm trying to like just maybe see like what's to come for our quest, but also like our party. I'm trying to like look at like the guys that are with us, and I think I have probably Whitaker fresh on my mind because like he's right there, and I'm just like trying to see if I can really like rely on these guys.
Okay, so with that, so you see the sparks, and then like all of a sudden like a full scene like all of a sudden just like fills the orb with like, and now you're like, so you can see a brawny grizzly man kind of wandering through a town called Lethan on his way to the local tavern, and from you're kind of looking at him from his point of view, and from afar he sees Whitaker walking kind of the opposite side of him, and you can tell that the man is scared a little bit, or just a little. He's not at ease, and then he enters into a tavern. He slumps his pack on the floor and then finds a seat at the bar, raises his hand for a drink, and then the bartender approaches, and they start to strike up a conversation. And the man says to the bartender, "Saw a frightening horned fellow on my way in."
Aye, his name's Whitaker, and he doesn't talk much.
Oh, but surely he has something to say. I mean, a fellow that unique must have many a, tale.
Gesturing to the tail. He's more than accustomed to the mockery and stares in the comments.
He's a freak, after all.
Well, he may look different, but I can say with utter assurance you won't find another like him this side of the river. His strength is matched only by his skill and care for others.
Skill? I presume he's mastered the ancient art of frightening children. And care. Ha! I imagine any and all notion of care is rooted in the utmost interest of self. That's what their kind do.
Quite the opposite, actually. When he first came to us bedraggled and nothing short of a mess, we were apprehensive, to say the least. However, the children, with their inherent wisdom, took to him far quicker than the rest of us. He garnered their admiration within a month and has become a brotherly figure of sorts to the young ones. Took the rest of us a while longer to feel at ease around him. However, it became increasingly difficult to deem him in possession of any ill will when he treated the young with such patience and kindness. It's shocking how kids have a knack for judging the character of a stranger, despite appearances.
And you lot are okay with this? That thing wandering your streets? Coming near your children and talking to them? Playing with them?
Quite.
Well, I don't like it.
I'm shocked.
Look, if that monster was wandering around my village, I wouldn't leave home without a bit of steel to my side.
You'd be right to do so. There are many dangerous things around here, Whitaker included.
Oh, so you admit it? He's a threat?
Certainly.
Are you mocking me?
Not at all.
Well, then by all means, enlighten me as to the reasoning behind your smug attitude as it pertains to my qualms regarding the thing who has made his home here.
You simply misunderstand. I mean, no disrespect to you whatsoever. Whitaker is, without a doubt, dangerous. Additionally, his appearance, off-putting. However, it is not his capacity for fury that we live in fear of. Since his arrival, some 3 years ago, he has shown himself to be nothing less than a friend to the village, whether by services provided to neighbours in need of a helping hand fixing roofs, mending tools, and the like. He's good with a hammer and quite strong. Hunting for the less fortunate families during particularly bleak seasons, or, on more grand occasions, eradicating nefarious foes, wild beasts, the occasional group of bandits, that sort of thing.
All of which are performed to the tune of more coin jostling in his pocket and not of your townsfolk, I assume.
Never has he requested any form of compensation for his services.
So he's a murderer.
Of sorts. However...
You defend him still?
Well, he's rather tidy about all of it. I would remind you that it's only the most unsavory of characters he finds himself at odds with. Those would perpetually disrupt the peace of the village, and he most certainly doesn't always kill them. It is only those who would have exacted crimes of the higher degrees that he takes such serious measures with. I would also add that dealing with such characters, he takes a period of respite and solitude. We won't see him for a few weeks, perhaps even a month. Those types of labours take a toll, no doubt. It's become understood that upon his re-entry, we make no mention of the deed. He simply returns with a spirit of solemnity, reminiscent of the relief after a weathered storm. And heads almost immediately here for a pint. We discuss the weather, crop yields, and pay a visit to the families closest to him on his way out. It's the clear separation of it all that makes us feel a bit more at ease, not to mention his faith.
Faith? Why, I'm not surprised that such a being would find his mind filled with the deeds of a higher power. Something sinister, no doubt. Have you not thought of this? All of his deeds could be in pursuit of a higher power? Yet you allow him to wander amidst your kin, eat your food, play with your children. I'm sorry, I simply cannot fathom this reality.
I take no offence, and even regard your sentiment as no fault of your own. I am well aware of the stories of his kind making decisions rooted in malintent, those who'd walk a path shrouded in darkness and self-indulgence. However,
Go on.
I present to you my final case regarding my friend. He is undoubtedly a quiet one and still largely keeps to himself, but from what I gather, he's a devout follower of Torm. You know this god, yes? The god of courage and self-sacrifice.
I know little of him, but this Whitaker is truly aligned.
Precisely. If one is capable of maintaining faithful allegiance to such a god, any intention they possess would pass through a lens of the tenets aforementioned, courage and self-sacrifice. And considering your lack of experience of the man, you've yet to see the evidence of his character through his actions.
I suppose it's feasible.
Shocking, really, but true nonetheless.
Then I suppose, after all that has been said, there is the smallest amount of room for the truth of his character being good.
The barkeep smiles in response.
And you would consider yourself an honest man.
I would.
And I'm supposed to simply take you at your word.
I would.
In that case, pour me another pint and I'll allow my mind to wrestle with this newfound impression of the world and those in it.
I would. End scene.
And with that,
Wow.
so
You guys
Ezekiel
just role-playing
sees
all
that, and then all of a sudden the orb just goes clear like that.
I'm looking into my orb and just kind of absorbed in it, in this scene. And as it closes, there's like a moment where where Ezekiel is just kind of shocked that he was able to see a vision at all.
Mhm.
And he's like, this is the first time in a while he's been able to finish his ritual.
Damn.
To climax,
Yeah.
right? Climax his ritual.
And he's kind of staring into it. He snuffs out the candles like one at a time, and looks over at the cot to Whitaker sleeping there, and just kind of nods his head, like with a sort of mutual understanding of what it feels like to be looked down upon by society, and to have still held true to your values through it, and there's a respect there, but he doesn't wake him, doesn't talk to him, just nods, puts his orb away, lays down, and rests.
He wakes him up to tell him that.
Hey man, I just really respect you. Now,
So
I
there's
didn't.
this vision, and here's exactly what he said.
Yeah. So you all long rest.
That was lovely.
So, in the morning, Quavo wakes up and he looks to the bed next to him.
No.
It's neatly made, and Nathaniel is gone.
No.
That was your job, Quavo. You're supposed to make sure he doesn't get away.
On the pillow, there's a folded note. It reads,
Chocolate.
"Dear Quavo, Uncle Grog, and friends. Thank you.
Others.
Damn, we didn't even mention.
Thank you for the adventure and for seeing the bravery in a young bullywug who had not yet seen it in himself. While the bog is where I belong, I will cherish this journey for the rest of my days. I hope to see all of you again soon, and best of luck on your journey. Your friend, Nathaniel."
Wow.
I love that little frog.
Little mini
Quavo
character arc.
sheds a single tear.
That's awesome.
Says, "There's so much I wish I could have said." He closes the note and walks out to share the news with his friends that are awake. If they aren't, if he doesn't.
So
wake them
all
up.
of you, you wake and you come to I don't know, the kitchen, I guess, or I don't know, the like common area in Flynt's manor, and he gives you
In our
coffee.
PJs.
Yeah, in your PJs. He's in
Sleeping cap.
He's in the coziest gnome PJs, and he's drinking his coffee and stuff, and he says, "Boys, when you see Captain Ziggy, if you're heading out now, then please give him this for me." It's in here somewhere. He's digging around in his pockets.
Ruffling.
And he gives this to Gobi.
Paper for a paper.
A soul for a soul.
Shall I? Out of the eye, into the storm. Flynt. Then there appears to be a depiction of an eye on the back. Does it bear us knowing what this means?
I will, he'll know.
You're a mysterious little guy.
Well, off you go, off you go.
Yeah.
So lads, to get to Cropius, you'll need to head down Mount Sondor on the other side and head north. At the bottom of the mountain, you'll pass through the town of Riddleton, a small town of lovely people who can point you in the right direction, north. But while you're there, I must request you be sure to stop by Grimwald's, one of the best restaurants in Zanderveld. And Grimwald is a dear friend. And then he sends you on your way. Yeah, I mean, he ushers you out of Flynt Manor and wishes you luck.
Yeah, I give my best to anybody who's still there. Most people left, I guess. Question, out of character. Is this a good timeout time? I don't need to leave, I just need to use the bathroom.
Yeah, use the bathroom. That's perfect.
And I also didn't know if you had, like, prepared for more or what?
I do.
I'm
How are y'all
prepared
doing
for
on
more.
time?
I feel great.
I feel great,
Yeah,
but I can keep going tonight. But whenever everybody else is.
yeah. How are we? Yeah, like it's 9:20 right now. Is like what's too late
I feel like I'd like to be closer to finish around 10.
to finish
But-
around 10?
Yeah,
we can do that.
I don't
we
have
get
to
to
be-
Riddleton
I
and
don't
just
have to leave at
poke
10,
around for a little
but-
bit.
Maybe
I don't have to leave right at 10, but
No,
yeah.
that's.
if we shoot for 10,
I think 10's a good
Stopping
good
point.
amount of time.
Cool.
Yeah.
we gotta level up before next fight anyway.
that was my thought.
Yeah. I'll pee as well.
Yeah, I'm gonna go pee in the trough.
Mad or disappointed, but I'll be mad and disappointed if Riddleton doesn't have a riddle for us.
Uh-oh.
Alex begins to sweat.
Alex,
let me Google something.
Have you guys heard of the green glass door?
So you're now on the peak of Mount Sondor, and you're
Is it beautiful?
yeah. It's well actually yeah. So you
Yeah, it's
step out.
fucking beautiful.
To that
So-
point, is there that lingering
Body
darkness?
knock about the
No, so as you step on the peak of Mount Sondor, the sun is just about to rise, and the
Dang.
clouds have kind of
Just remembered.
dispersed overhead, and you can see rays of sunlight like about to shine over the east. and it's about a 3-hour hike down the north side of Mount Sondor to Riddleton. Y'all
I'm
do anything on your journey?
definitely being,
I say,
cautious.
hey, aren't we down the man? Where'd the little guy go?
Quavo's right here.
It's it's with a heavy heart. I must not have told you earlier. I apologize. Little Nate has left us. He left me this sweet note if you'd like to read it.
For a second, I think he's dead.
He's left. I killed him in his sleep.
He's left us.
What have you done?
Ah!
I take the note, and I read it, and I pass it to Grog.
Grog, already crying, knowing the truth of this situation, that little Nate is gone,
Yup.
dead.
Dead in a ditch.
Reads the note and says, "He wrote this before he died." Looking at Quavo.
Oh
Wet
dear.
spear wedding.
Oh bother. I must have miscommunicated. He didn't die. He went back to your lovely lady wife. Oh, actually, I should clarify. I didn't want to assume anything. Sorry, I get really nervous about this topic.
Assume.
Assume away.
Oh man. All right. Then the journey.
Yeah, we
Anything
can-
else
we
on the journey?
continue.
You continue down the
And we're
journey.
being
It's a quiet hike. It's a pretty just non-treacherous hike down the north side of the mountain.
Oh, as we're hiking,
Yep.
I pull out the Scion staff, and I'm trying to study it and like connect with it and understand it and maybe
As if-
learn about
As
it.
if you were trying to attune to
I'm
it.
like,
Attune
some would
to it.
say, maybe whether I know it or not, I'm attuning myself to it.
I love that. Great.
Sing a tune as you
So-
attune.
If nothing else happens on the journey, then it's late morning as the path down the mountain kind of begins to level out. The trees disperse as you open onto a large clearing with a rough path kind of heading into the just like open plain before you. And you see a sign that says Riddleton 1 mile on it. And then you can see the outline of the town from a distance. And then as you, well, first on the outskirts, as you're walking into Riddleton, there's like, when you're starting a hike, that there's like the little
Finger posts?
like, yeah, there's signs that have like little self help like signs,
Okay.
or like maps that you can take. Not self help.
Be your
Chin
best.
up.
Be
Yeah.
your best.
Hang in there.
Yes.
I don't care what you're about to give me.
So
I
there
need to
there
do it.
are so there are maps of Riddleton in
Helpful.
that in that little
Maps.
sign or in that little thing
Brochures.
that each of you
Visit Riddleton.
grab one. Visit Riddleton.
Yep, that Riddleton.
Oh, I'm big on Riddleton right now. Dude, can't wait to go to Lonnie's farm.
Ronnie,
Um,
dude.
And so yeah, so as you walk into the outskirts, or as you walk into Riddleton, you just see a humble farming town with a few buildings in the city square, surrounded by groupings of houses and various shops and businesses. It's quiet. There are a few townsfolk kind of cleaning up what seems to be some sort of like disturbance and messes around the town.
Can I just to one of those townsfolk ask, like, hey, any chance like, how's Riddleton been holding up for the last say 2 or 3 months?
1,000 years.
Yeah.
And if I could
1,000
extend that
years.
to 1,000 years.
Yeah, the person they're kind of like breaking broken glass off their, or like they're sweeping up broken glass from their house.
Oh,
They
no.
say, oh man, the
Snatchers.
snatchers last night they came and they kidnapped a few of our people and ransacked the other parts of our town. But I think we're holding up all right. We're just trying to kind of assess what happened, and we'll get through it. But it's quite the bummer.
Which
Yes,
way
yes.
did they go?
Yeah, snatchers last night.
Last night, indeed.
We took care of them.
The townsperson goes, "You didn't. What really happened?"
Yeah, Gobi's definitely operating under the assumption that, like, when we killed the Deep Scion, it was like, all right, now it's just on to whatever this Wraith thing is.
Yeah.
Even though, like, the Snatchers as a whole are still an issue.
Unless there's something else afoot.
What are the
Curious.
people of this town like? Are they mostly human?
Are
or-
they
Yeah,
ugly?
mostly human, just like kind of humble humans. They're all
Simple,
very
ugly.
simple.
Super
Maybe.
Strike me as somebody who
You wouldn't
possesses great
believe.
humility.
No, they're just like
You're
kind
really
of simple
handsome.
farming.
I say that to one of them. I say they're really handsome.
What do they say? How do they react? No, I'm not.
You're handsome.
Simple. But yeah, and then you see like on the far end of the town, Grimwald's, which you recognize from Dr. Flint telling you
Finest
about as one of the finest restaurants in Xanderberg.
Well,
I think we should hit that up.
we.
Absolutely.
What time is it? Maybe roughly.
11:30.
Wait.
I want to go to the potions.
Is that-
and
I was gonna say. I think
shop.
we got some cash.
Is
from,
there a herb? Is that a herbs and spices store or a store called Herbs and Spices?
Urban
Yeah, it's a
Spices.
furniture
Yeah.
the flavor of your room?
herbs and spices.
The flavor of our lives.
Okay. Well, who's our unofficial leader?
I don't think we have.
I feel
I
like
follow
Grog's
Quavo.
normally the one leading the way.
I was just following
I will
Little
lead the
Nate.
Yeah, little Nate was our
Without
unofficial
Little
leader.
Nate, I'm
Grog is in
aimless.
no state to lead.
I'll say. Yeah, you're
Still
distraught. right
falling
now, I'll
apart
say.
from Lil Nate's
Alright,
departure.
lads. You need a bite to eat, or should we look around for a bit?
Well, I mean, I can't pass up a good meal, but you know, I sense that I do dabble in the potions and the mysticals myself, so I'm slightly drawn to that.
I guess we could fan out.
Split
I was
up.
about to
I'm
say.
interested
Split
in
the party.
mysticals.
You go to Lonnie's and you go to Ronnie's. Let's
I'm about to
figure
go to
out-
Herbs and Spices, dude. I'm about to get that Italian 6-inch.
And,
Might be at
what
the
is
butcher.
that?
Hello, my name is Antonio. Welcome to my shop.
I'm gonna go with Gobi to the potions and mysticals for sure.
Me too.
I wonder if I should go there. I'm gonna go to the general store just to be a little different.
Yeah,
Whoa.
they're
Okay.
more humble there.
At the Potions and Mystic store, you walk up and they're
You're
They're
killed
kind of
immediately.
like looking around, kind of hurriedly, like, lads, it's gonna take us a second to open up here. We've kind of been, we kind of took a hit last night, so much appreciate your patronage, but we're gonna need a second here.
I say, how much would it cost to open up your doors now? Might help with the repairs around here.
Well, I suppose, what are you looking for?
What do you got to sell? Anything of interest?
Potions
we've
or
got-
mysticals.
I'm sure I get the general idea.
Well,
What are the mysticals?
Well, sure, we've got some mysticals. We've got some
got potions.
exploding beans. If you'd like some of those. We're selling some smoke
A
beans.
beanstalk.
That essentially create a smoke.
Sorry, smoke beans?
Smoke beans. Yeah, smoke beans, of course.
Smoked beans.
yeah.
Grog
smoke
kind of
beans.
perks up a little bit,
Smoke beans.
wiping tears.
Did I see a smile?
Smoke beans?
Yes, for we'll say 75 gold for 3 smoked beans that will create a cloud of smoke in a 20-foot radius for
Dude, hell yeah.
6 seconds.
Great.
Anything else?
That's
Any other
cool.
beans?
That's cool, but anything else?
You know what I'm really asking?
We've got some health potions.
Exploding beans?
Exploding beans.
Smoke beans?
Are you looking for exploding beans? What do you
No.
do? You seek?
I'm just curious.
Why, we might have some exploding beans. Let me see
You
if.
have any flashbang?
While
Right.
you're thinking about it, Whitaker, is the general store open?
It's a similar thing. They're just kind of like sweeping up.
What about the
It's
herbs and
like-
spices store?
Ronnie's and Lonnie's farm is they're just, it's like a Ronnie and Lonnie are people, and they
Yeah,
just
yeah.
live there. It's
And
not
they
like
just
in
stand
business.
there.
Right.
They
It's
just
like
I
that's
realized.
the
Are they
whole-
open?
Are they feuding? Are they related? No. Okay, how about I just
We have to investigate.
I'm
that
wandering
ourselves.
around the general store for a little bit, and
it's closed. I'm like, what the hell
no,
are you
this
doing?
it was open. I could get in. They're
You
just
can-
like
yeah, you
they're
can-
tiny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just like
I kicked down the door. No,
Yeah.
it's open.
It's like Trader Joe's. It's like you got
Oh, that's not so bad.
yeah. It's like
Food,
I was
wine,
just-
You've got
flowers.
refrigerated
I was
goods.
just hoping to find a
Wine,
small
flowers, arrows.
wooden carving of a frog.
small wooden carving of a frog. You don't find that.
Dang it.
Oh, we could have really used that right now
I-
for Grog.
I just was looking for a gift for frog.
Wait,
for frog.
that's
For
right.
frog. A gift for frog.
Herbs and Spices store closed.
Okay. Never mind
Yeah,
then.
it is.
Okay, then I walk over to Ronnie's farm, and say, and do I see Ronnie? Is he?
Like, do you knock on Ronnie's house?
Okay.
door?
Yeah. Right.
Fuck his house.
I
It's
similarly.
like the middle of a wall.
Are you Ronnie?
Ronnie timidly opens the door, peeking one eye out, and says, "What do you want? Who are you?"
Oh my God. Oh, hello, Mr. Ronnie, was it? That's what it says on this map. My name is Quavo Timbers. A pleasure to meet you. Listen, I don't want to trouble you too much, but I was just wondering, is it worth it to go around any of these stores right now? Or everything seems to be in an ill state.
Yes. I suppose we all took quite a hit last night, but I don't know. Grimwald's might be open for a bite or a drink. I'm so sorry. And he closes the door.
Oh, well, that was very informative. Lads!
And we all poke our head out of our respective stores we barged into.
Like Scooby Doo.
Yeah.
Back at the potions and mysticals.
Yeah.
I'm still
I don't
negotiating.
stop pressing.
I say, how's this? I'll take 3 beans. What'd you say, 75 gold?
Yes. Yes.
I'll throw in an extra 75 when I help you out around here. Maybe get you some new windows. I hate to bother you during this time of obvious distress for your town. I'd love to be a patron of your shop, take some smoked beans, and maybe you could, I don't know, since you're proficient in the mystic arts, I assume, maybe it's just limited to beans, but if not, could you maybe tell me, do you know what this staff might be capable of? And I hold out the staff to him, and kind of offering it to be like,
Yeah.
can you tell me?
Can you tell me a little bit about it?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, the shopkeeper kind of looks at it, and he kind of shudders at first at like, oh, there's some dark magic here, but not one that I don't that you could not wield. So he notices that it's the 3 tentacles on the rod, and he deduces that each of the tentacles are can attack within a 15-foot radius with a +5 to hit.
Oh shit.
And they each, and using all 3 of them is 1 action. So like you can use all of them during 1 action, and they all do a d6 of bludgeoning damage.
Amazing.
And if all 3 hit 1 creature, then the creature has to roll a DC 15 Constitution saving, or their speed is halved for the next round.
Okay. And when I make that attack, am I using a specific modifier for it? Is it like?
Good question. I'm not sure. Let me find
Or is that just the bonus?
out.
Yeah. Like if I'm rolling to hit, am I adding like intelligence or wisdom or?
I think it's just bludgeoning, like whatever
Straight
that
up,
is.
always +5.
Yeah. What is that?
Like if I'm making a melee attack.
Yeah.
So I would use, like,
it's
strength?
not really.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. Good to know.
It's like one of those little helicopter things where you do this. It's
Yeah.
just tentacles. instead of a
Okay.
helicopter.
Amazing.
Yeah.
I say, thank you very much. I've been studying this and haven't really made much headway. It's good to know what exactly I can do with
Right,
this.
of
And
course.
you know what? Here's an extra 25 for your trouble.
Thank you so much, sir.
I hope it helps you
Appreciate
all
it.
out.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Rock's slipping his one gold.
Yeah.
Admiring.
And then I give each of you a smoke bead.
Oh, nice.
All right.
Beans!
And then we hear Quavo calling for us.
Drog's done being sad. Oh, admiring his new bean.
Yeah, I love it. It's one bean.
This is the smoke bean.
And then
And we start walking towards Grimwald's.
cool. You go to Grimwald's, and you you open the door to Grimwald's, and you walk into an empty like tavern restaurant. So
Hold on.
there a
no.
I slow my pace.
Yeah, you're all
I'm
apprehensive.
checking
Hi,
the
little
ground,
man.
checking
But-
the traps.
You walk into an empty, so it's empty. There's a bar kind of on the left side, and then like 10 to 15 tables that are all empty. And then there's one like big fat man sitting at the bar. He's clearly he's real.
He's clearly real.
because
Just one.
he's wearing an apron. He's fat. He's drinking something clearly stiff, and he's weeping. And then as you walk in, he like looks up and tries to kind of perk up and like wipe his eyes. He says, "Oh, morning, gentlemen. I'm so sorry, but the kitchen won't be up and running again for a few hours. We took quite the hit last night. And he kind of like looks around to the five of you and he says, well, I'm looking at it. Well, lads, I perhaps could use your help. See, our kitchen and pantry were completely raided last night, and my whole staff has been kidnapped. I can hardly afford to miss a day of service, and today we're expecting a good crowd. It would be impossible for me to open today without some extra hands, and I swear to make it worth your while if you'd help me cook today. But we'll need to hurry. The rush will begin soon. I'm afraid none of my ingredients are here. You could see what else we've got in the pantry, and I can help while I can. And he's clearly like very emotional and drunk. Like he's just been drinking away his sorrows. He says, "Now, boys, we've been voted best restaurant in Zanderveld 5 years in a row. We've got a reputation to maintain, so please, would you help me out here?"
I extend my hand
and
and
he
put it on his
looks-
shoulder.
yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Quavo
Well,
rolls up his sleeves.
I mean, you got the best 5 people in all of Zanderveld right here to help you. Isn't that right, fellas? We're gonna help this man out. And what's your name again, sir?
Oh, of course. Well, I'm Grimwald. I'm Chef Grimwald.
That tracks.
I'm
Yeah.
Phineas Drax.
Roll for initiative.
People call me the sleeper.
Yeah.
and then the floor falls out.
So
I'm glad you asked.
So, boys, we luckily have a kind-hearted town here. They may be rather shaken up by what had happened last night, but perhaps you could disperse, ask around, and just see what ingredients or
We've already
or
harassed
things
the
we might be able
townspeople.
to gather for some sort of meal today.
So far, we've accumulated 3 beans for you.
I don't think they're gonna want to talk to me.
I leave it to you. I have nothing.
Grimwald, what's generally on your menu?
Well, I suppose whatever you scrounge up.
Well, that works
Best
for me.
restaurant 5 years running.
An
He's like
adaptive
he's
restaurant.
out of it.
Is there
drunk
anywhere you
and-
might recommend we go? I know there's a few stores in town, but there's some woods outside the town. Is there anything we might find there?
Why, sure, the Riddleton Woods. I'm sure there might be some looking around or foraging you might be able to find there. I mean, we've got the butcher in town. We've got the bakery, the herbs and spices. I mean, really anything. I mean, we're quite the foodie town. I'll be there in just a moment. And he kind of trails off and starts to nod as a drunk does.
A foodie
We
town.
hit the 3 spots that we weren't supposed to
What?
go.
That's funny.
So, Grog asks, arms crossed, Grog asks, so what exactly is in it for us?
Nice, bro.
Well,
Grog's
you'll be
cold now. With that
You'll,
little-
I'll see to it you'll be rewarded handsomely. Please, I just,
Rewarded?
I beg you. Please, I've got a reputation
Please
to
accept
maintain.
this side quest. I beg you.
My cooking mama side.
Yeah.
Well,
Of course, sir. We'll come to your aid. I'll hit up the herbs and
what's the matter
spices
with you,
store.
bro? Come on,
Grog
Grog.
just wants to know. He keeps saying he has nothing. And
Grog,
he said you'll be rewarded.
Quavo hits him
He has
kind of in like
nothing.
the shin, I guess that would
It's
be.
not nothing. You can go see what we've got in the back, and I'll
Alright,
be
Grog
sure to
goes the
find
back.
something.
Grog goes to the back and investigates. What do we have back there?
Actually, roll for an quote unquote initiative. All of you.
What the?
What the hell?
I rolled a 6.
5.
17.
Wait, is this a saving throw?
No.
No,
it's
it's plus an
Jesus, one.
Walled attacks.
Crossbow.
Would you roll?
17.
17,
14.
14,
6.
6,
5.
6, 5, 1, 17. Okay, so
Wow.
How about that?
Well done.
How about that?
The rats attack you.
okay, so
I'm really hoping those are out.
They probably
Whitaker, where do you go? What do you do?
Yeah.
I want Remy to help.
I'm gonna look at my group and I say, "Alright, lads."
And just to clarify, the rush is coming. So it's like you gotta whip something up. quick.
11:30.
It's 11:30. The
We've
lunch
got-
The
rush is
lunch
coming.
crowd is coming.
I take a look at the map.
First, perhaps he says, perhaps lads, you should try to decide what we're making today.
Yeah, well, okay.
That's your job, Grandma. You
Oh, you've got it. I've got it.
Grandma.
You know,
He is-
Throw us a rope,
he's in
Grandma.
Yeah, he is a
He's going through
fast
it.
and loose manager.
He's going through it.
Alright, any of you
Let's
lot
make-
know how to cook anything?
Oh, I could make a pretty good stew back in the day.
I'm not so bad at brewing. If we need
A
beer
stew?
2 weeks from now.
Keep that in my back pocket. Cook your meat. Stew. What about you?
Tea.
That's not super helpful.
People
meat
love tea.
and, what'd you say? A stew?
A stew?
Alright, well,
Maybe we just
We've
go
got-
in on a big stew.
we have
Big stew with meat.
herbs, the butcher, bait and tackle, and the bakery.
And maybe something in the woods.
And maybe something in the woods.
Yeah.
Something gamey.
Some like mushrooms.
Mm.
Yeah, you could forage or hunt. Sure.
What do you think about splitting up? We each go to a store, finding something, bring it back here.
I think that sounds like a good idea. I'll
Alright.
go to the herbs.
So we
and
can make
spices.
something.
All right,
Alright,
so Whitaker, where do you go?
I'm gonna go into the woods and look for some something.
Are you looking for anything in particular, or are you just seeing what you find?
Bears or the hunt? Are you on the hunt?
I'm looking for. I think mushrooms is a good thing to look for.
Roll. Roll
Roll
20.
for
roll,
mushrooms.
roll D20 for all of you.
Roll for
You-
mushrooms.
no, sorry. Not right now. But
Okay.
anytime I'm gonna ask you to roll here, it's gonna be a 20.
Can we add nature?
15.
15. You find mushrooms, snails, a few fruit trees around, and some truffles on the ground.
Oh,
Sweet.
hell
You
yeah.
found truffles?
Sweet. And I just bring them back.
You bring all of them
Yep.
back. Okay. Ezekiel, where do you go?
Do herbs and spices, maybe.
I think Quavo's going to herbs and spices.
No, please.
I think Quavo should go to the fish place.
I can go to the fish place. I'll see if I can get some fish bone.
Yeah, I think I'll go over to the butcher. Or no, I'm gonna go to the baker. I'm gonna go to the bakery.
Okay. Roll for it.
Yeah.
Roll for bake.
Am I adding anything, or is it just
No.
Okay? It's 9.
Okay.
You
find
Where the hell did it go?
You find some ciabatta, a baguette, and
Give me all your bread.
some wheat bread.
Okay,
Nice.
cool.
Would have preferred
And you
focaccia.
grab. What do you take it and bring it? Or are you grabbing anything in particular?
Am I paying for this? Am I?
You go
It's a
and
robbery.
you're yeah. So Grimwald kind of he just like coughs up a big wad of coins. He's like, go talk to the townspeople. They'll yeah, make sure they're rewarded. And so you're taking Grimwald's coins and basically going to the these
Okay.
places.
Yeah, I offer the baker compensation for the ciabatta, all the breads I saw.
Okay.
I clean them out.
Great. Grog, where do you go?
I want to continue my march towards the kitchen. What's
Oh,
going
right,
on in
towards the kitchen.
Yeah.
Roll for it.
It's a 4.
Okay, you find salt, pepper, butter, and oil.
Salt, pepper, butter, and oil. Okay. Is that my whole action?
That's your whole action. Gobi, where do you go?
I'll head to the butcher.
Okay,
Let's go.
roll for it.
For butcher.
Someone
And
has
we
to go
need
to
that
Oh,
shit
that's a
again.
nat one.
Ooh.
That's a
Nat
natural
Ooh,
one.
you do not find the
The
butcher.
animals attack.
You,
A
you
shell falls
find,
on you.
You find just some chicken.
Okay.
Oh,
Just
wow.
chicken
Does it
works.
look fresh?
The nat one of meat, of
Okay.
course.
Yeah.
We gotta decide then between, I guess, bait and tackle and herbs and spices.
That the
Like,
herbs
you
can
could go to
carry
herbs
my
and
You-
bad
spices.
chicken.
You don't.
Yeah.
You don't have to just go to one place.
That's true.
Oh.
You could go back. to the
Quavo's
butcher.
got rocket boots. Wait a minute.
What is that gnome doing?
Quavo rockets to runs. He first runs to herbs and spices.
Okay, any rolls?
Natural one.
15.
It's rotten.
You find
Oregano, basil.
garlic, leeks, thyme, sage, rosemary, basil, oregano.
Wow.
Oh yeah.
A whole handful.
And then
Basically, any spices that you could think of.
Wow.
You find them.
and then I run outside. I run to the fountain and kind of like do like a push off.
Okay.
Push off. I rocket boot over Lonnie's farm
To Lonnie's farm.
over Lonnie's farm to the bait and tackle.
Wow.
Okay.
Over Lonnie's 20-foot farm.
Right. Sure. Roll for it.
Oh, I like this.
Actually, no.
Okay,
Roll
okay.
for your rocket boots. to
Would
see
that
how
be
far it takes you.
dexterity?
Acrobatics.
Yeah. You gotta
Roll for acrobatics.
Yeah.
What are your
It'll be
acrobatics?
dexterity, and
Yeah.
if you're proficient in it.
I think I am.
I have to assume you are.
You're a gnome.
Just based on your characteristics.
Yeah.
Wait, I'm not. I don't think I'm proficient in acrobatics. That's what it would be, right?
Do you have a more specific list of your skills? Sorry, I don't know how to navigate this. Does
No.
anybody know how to navigate D&D Beyond?
So wait, skills.
Oh, there you go.
Acrobatics plus 4.
Proficient.
Okay. So, what did you roll for?
No, sorry. 16.
Okay. So you
Well, 12
success.
plus 4.
So you successfully jump to the fishery or the bait and tackle.
Yeah.
Um,
Doing the flip.
Yeah.
and you roll to see what you find there.
Earl,
Or
the gnomes are
are
jumping
you looking?
again.
Yeah.
17.
17.
Nice.
Rainbow trout, hake, salmon, cod, anchovies, and shrimp.
Come on.
And you can take any of
Such
those.
a haul.
I'm taking the rainbow trout.
Rainbow trout. Okay.
Lovely.
Nice.
What do we have now?
Back to Whitaker.
Chicken. We have chicken, rainbow trout,
Every
All the
a
herbs
bunch of
and
bread,
spices.
all the herbs and
the
spices.
classics: salt, pepper,
Salt,
butter,
pepper. I think. Do we feel good? I think it's time we start
mushrooms. We got truffles.
Cooking.
Do we have a
Mushrooms.
broth? Like water?
Oh, I guess we
we
don't
could.
have.
we'll
Is
make
there
a
water
broth.
in the
The-
I
kitchen?
can
the
make a
fountain?
broth with the chicken bones.
Great.
Get the marrow. Get some.
Who
I'll
wants to
collect
start-
some water.
Grog, you want to start cooking?
Yeah, I gotta start
got
on the
meat.
broth early because I gotta get the bones. I need herbs. I need.
Yeah, that's what do I do?
I guess.
I
Yeah, that's all you need.
Yeah, so
feel-
this is all simultaneous. So
I
Whitaker,
feel like
what do
we
you
have
do?
enough stuff to make food.
Sure.
So I'm going to. I use my cantrip Sacred Flame,
Oh,
and
nice.
I ignite a fire in presumably it's a kitchen, so I'm guessing.
Yeah,
there's
on the
some-
stove.
there's a stove,
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Gas flame.
Yeah.
this up.
yeah.
Yeah.
Chip technology.
It's all electric.
Oh,
No,
okay.
Oh, the flame is cooler.
And
Electric
I
stove is on
start
fire.
making like a stew with my, or no, what should I do with all the truffles and?
Up to you, man.
You got it. Just throw it in the pot. We'll get
Okay,
there.
we throw it all in a pot. I throw all
Oh,
my
man.
stuff I found in the forest in a pot.
Okay, wow. So
Stew.
you throw mushrooms, snails, fruit.
It'll come
What,
out
what
good.
kind of fruit did
It'll
you find
work out.
again?
You
They'll
said
eat-
fruit trees.
they need
I
something.
found
Yeah, so what kind?
What kind of fruit? Oranges.
Okay.
Pears for sure.
apples.
Oranges and apples. Okay,
Yeah.
so you throw those also in the stew, and the truffles.
Odd five.
Truffles, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
I don't
Great.
know. I don't even
No,
know what a
that's
truffle is.
It's like a small little mushroom. Very good. Expensive.
Flavorful.
Yeah.
What does Ezekiel
Put
do?
like truffle oil
So
in pasta.
I'm gonna leave the bakery and I start heading back towards Grimwald's, but then I'm like, 1 second, and I run back to Potions and Mysticals and I say, "Right, you guys have any non-magical beans? Just straight beans.
Well, I suppose we do have some that have yet to be
Magified.
mystic.
Mysticalized.
And you find roll. Yeah,
Roll for beans.
roll.
Bean roll.
I'm looking
Bean-
for kidney.
Are you proficient in beans?
Yeah.
15.
And you're looking for kidney? You find kidney beans.
I find some
And you
kidneys.
get exactly 15 of them.
Yeah.
15 kidney beans.
No, you find a bag of kidney beans.
Woo! I find a bag of kidney beans
Bag
and
of
be
beans.
very careful not to confuse them
Guys,
with
we're
my
kinda
smoked
close to
beer
a
and
white
run
No, no,
back
this
to
is a
Grimwald's.
sack of kidney
Okay,
beans.
great.
Guys, I think we can make a white
Those are
chili.
exploding beans. Watch out.
I run back to
Chili.
We
Grimwald's.
can
Maybe
make a
drop
white
a
chicken
smoking
chili
bean in
right
there.
now.
Yeah.
Ooh,
I'm
give us
starting
more
to
time.
see
Give us
the line form outside Grimwald, so
Yeah.
I sprint in.
Beat me to it.
I see
Yes.
the stove and all the stuff being dumped in. I just dump this bag of kidney beans in, and I throw the bread in there too into the pot.
Okay.
All of it.
Wait.
Oh,
Yeah, all of
Okay.
it.
Yep. Sure.
Get
all
that
of the
out of
bread.
there.
Yeah, all the bread is
All
in
the
the
bread
pot.
is in the pot.
And the
Okay.
kidney beans.
The pot is like getting a
Huge.
kind of full.
We need another pot.
Quick
Grog,
Quavo, add the trio.
Grog, what do you do?
Just deep sigh. Grog sees everything in the same pot, and I want to say that Grog, using his agility, catches a few pieces of bread before they fall in.
Yeah, roll for it.
Let's see.
Dex-
I'll add
dexterity,
Dex. That's
yeah.
an 8.
Can I see
Yeah.
how fast I pour them in?
Yeah, let's see.
Sleight of hand.
Nat 1.
Now,
Let's
one,
go.
okay, you catch all of the bread.
I just
Actually,
stand over the pot.
yeah.
I drop the wheat bread in.
Okay.
I'm like, we don't need that.
So it naturally goes in the pot.
Yeah,
Right.
So, and then I'm gonna slice up the bread and basically put some. You said there was
Salt,
oil or lard
butter.
or something.
Oil and butter.
Okay,
Yeah.
so I'm gonna put some butter in the pan, start
Truffles.
crisping up some
Yeah.
toast
Nice.
to go with the
Grog.
stew, and salt and pep. And like we're talking like all of a sudden, Grog has a chef's hat, apron, like he's fully kitted in like chef gear.
Right. And Grimwald kind of looks up and looks at you in his drunken state and says, "Where does he get that?"
Yeah.
And then goes back to sleep.
It's all
Just
too
toast.
big. It's
Just
Grimwald
plain
size.
Yeah.
Yeah. He says, "Yes, chef," and then continues. on.
That's great. And what
You
did
just
Joby
watched
do?
the
I
video.
want to chain together the interception of bread attempts
Okay.
to your wheat bread. So as you blocked the good bread, I'm trying to block the wheat bread.
And you roll for that.
18.
Yeah,
plus
you-
Dex,
yeah, you catch it.
20.
Successful,
Dirty
successful
20.
bread save.
Okay,
And
but the butts of the butt, they're both falling.
Yeah.
Yeah,
There's
yeah.
a little bit in there
There's
for
still some
sure.
bread.
I'm trying to save what could be a white chicken chili.
Oh, okay.
I'm trying to make it happen, but there's too much going. There's snails already in there. There's gonna be some snails
Are you
in the
fishing
chicken
out the
chili.
snail?
But that's
Yeah.
about all I got going. So I'm trying to multitask a lot.
That's
on
a
that.
Littleton
Just
stew.
gonna be
Yeah.
Great. What does Quavo do?
Riddleton stew.
Quavo throws all of the herbs and spices into the stew.
That's good, Quavo.
So again, that's basil, oregano, thyme, sage, rosemary, garlic, and leeks.
That's fine.
That's
Yeah,
not
that
bad.
all
Works, yeah.
combined to a good
That
flavor.
sounds great.
And then holding the fish.
Quavo,
He
what's
goes-
that to do?
We all turn and stare at Quavo.
Where did you get that fish?
The rainbow trout. He goes, "I'll be honest, fellas. Grew up underground. Don't really know what to do with this thing. Should I cut it up? Should I throw it in?"
Quavo, why don't you just hold on to that?
All right. Perhaps I can store it for later.
Make a
Can
nice
I
fish
do
pate.
cantrips? Can you do them as many times
Yeah,
as
oh,
you
yeah.
want, right?
Oh yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna cast Sacred Flame on the fish. So I'm gonna say, put it on the table, and you put it on a table, and then I go Sacred Flame. and it gets
And I start
roasted.
cutting it up
Wait, holy flame.
with my long sword.
Cool it off
Yeah.
with my cantrip.
Yeah,
Okay, so you're slicing up
Yeah. Slice up
while
some
it's being
salmon.
seared.
yeah.
Okay.
Ezekiel's out of his element.
So now, so the pot is like bubbling now, and the stew is cooking, and it's like, is it almost done? Does Whitaker? I guess goes to Whitaker to determine. or if,
Yeah, it's ready.
okay, it's ready. So what do you guys?
Stew is ready. I've begun to pour stew into a bunch of bowls. We have an
Yeah.
assembly line.
And so people are starting to file into Grimwald's now, and it's like all of a sudden, like all of the tables and the whole bar is like kind of packed, and Grimwald is like, "Hey, how's it going?" Like everybody's like drunkenly greeting everybody, and they all know him, and
I say, I think my skills are better served out there on the floor. And I summon my unseen servant, and me and the servant begin carrying out bowls of stew to the guests.
Very
love
good.
that.
As he does that, Grog's gonna grab the chicken, just full chickens in hand. He's gonna go out with Ezekiel, and then I am going to produce flame
Okay.
and roast the chickens in the middle of the room as an
Wow.
act
Yeah,
As an
while
act-
the food is being handed.
Roll
Dinner
for
and a show.
performance.
That's an 18, but what would I add to that? Just
Performance is.
Oh, it literally is 1. 17. I have a negative.
Okay, gotcha. So yeah, I mean, yeah, the chickens are being roasted, and oh god, people are.
Crowd is amazed.
Yeah, people are amazed.
Wow.
They're like, whoa! Yeah,
It's
and
about to be
they're-
6 years in a row, boys.
Yeah, they're like, we love Grimwalds.
Damn, these guys are going nuts.
I summon my dancing lights and have them kind of fleeting
Yeah.
from table to table.
And people
like-
are like, and it's now it's very
I'll put some
cheery.
light music in the room.
Yeah,
This
there
is
we
great.
go,
It has
there we go.
become just quite the ambiance here. It is
on,
lively.
man.
How are
People,
Yelp reviews looking?
The
Yelp
goal here
reviews are
is-
looking
The goal here is entertain them enough to where they don't notice the food is bad.
Yeah.
Okay. I
So
like that.
yeah, you're maintaining the reputation of Grimwald's well. People are loving it. They're clearly like people had come in kind of somber about what had happened last night, and now their spirits are clearly lifted.
Aw.
Yeah. After grog, I will spend the next whatever eating time going from table to table and trying to like secretly like sleight of hand fish out any snails I see in the suit that
Roll-
I didn't get.
yeah, roll
originally.
for
All
sleight of hand.
Sleight of hand. But it's not bad. It's a 17 plus
Gosh, you guys are rolling.
2, 19.
Wow, you
try to fish out
successfully fish out
snails.
these snails.
I was like,
Yeah,
how
as
you
people are-
doing tonight? How you doing?
As
How you
people are
doing?
following the lights around the room,
Yeah.
they look
Yeah,
and you're
yeah.
like grabbing the snails.
I'm watching Gobi and I'm kind of trying to distract us. He's going around.
I'll pocket them for later. I'm not tossing them
Does
at you.
Quavo do anything else?
Cooked snails.
He serves the rainbow trout.
Oh yes,
yeah,
and that's the finishing touch
Finishing
that people
For dessert.
Yeah, for
Dessert.
dessert.
Yeah.
Rainbow trout for dessert. That's great. So, so you guys have clearly
The toast is out there.
created
too.
quite the
Of
ambiance
course.
in Grimwald's, and Grimwald kind of like ushers y'all back to the kitchen. And as people are delighted and the joy continues, and Grimwald's kind of like sobered up a little bit at this time, and people come and slap him on the back and says, "Grimwald, you've done it again," and they're telling him how much they love their meal, and the ambiance maybe more so.
The atmosphere.
And he says,
Is anyone looking sick?
no
Can I roll
one,
to see if anyone's
It'll
sick?
never be
Sure,
tracked
yeah.
back to us.
15.
15, nobody's looking sick.
Oh, nice.
on.
The unseen servant is like filling up people's water as soon as they're done.
Yeah, it's like,
Wow.
and it's like magically filling
Yeah, yeah.
up.
There's just like
Grimwald?
like a vase of water.
Only
Like,
Grimwald.
Only
We
Grimwald.
have the best restaurant here.
So he says, "Boys, you have no idea how much I have to thank you, and for making my day and making all of these people's day, and for helping me out today. And please, as a token of my gratitude, I would love to give you these." And he hands each of you 2 large beans, and he says, "Now these are beans I've created called Grimwald's beans."
They have a mystery.
And they've taken me years of research to develop. They're packed with such wondrous flavor and nutrients that when you eat one, you gain 1d6 of health and 1 advantage roll of your choice an hour following consumption. And he also gives each of you 50 gold and plenty of food for the journey ahead. And
50 gold?
50 gold.
You got it.
Yeah.
So we each have 2 beans.
two Grimwald beans.
beans.
2 Grimwald
When you
beans.
say advantage, you mean like advantage over like I can do like what do you mean like I have advantage
A double
against a certain? Because you said an advantage of our choosing.
Of your choosing.
Like
Okay.
one attack? Or...
It's like an inspiration.
Yeah.
Oh, cool! I can like add
But
an
it's-
advantage.
Yeah, you can add
Oh,
an
cool.
advantage.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Great.
To
That's the
something with-
beans, the Grimwald
That's the
beans.
Grimwald's beans, and you each have 2 of those.
Can add
And then
1d6.
50 gold, you say?
50 gold from Grimwald,
am
and he
hoarding.
gives you like a bunch of like kind of packed food to take on your journey ahead. He brings you, he gives you some stew to go.
Oh, great.
And he
Our own
says,
stew.
Cool.
Um,
Snail stew.
Quavo
White chicken snail stew.
thanks Grindelwald. And then are people still in the restaurant?
"Oh yeah,
Quavo jumps on a table, raises a glass, and says, "To the people of Riddleton!"
and people go, well, roll for roll for dexterity."
Okay.
Oh, whoa, just stay on the table.
I'm adding my acrobatics.
Yeah.
16.
16. Okay, you jump successfully on a table, and you land and you kind of land like split between a trout on the table, and you say, "To the people of Riddleton," and they all cheer and they start clinking their glasses, and it's a joyous time. And Grimwald sends you on your way. He says, "Best of luck out there, lads, and you're welcome at Grimwald's anytime."
He sends us like out.
He
out of
says,
my
"Well, he says you're welcome to stay, or if you have places to be, you're welcome to head on."
How much money did Grimwald make off of our...
What's the wage theft looking
So how
like
many?
here?
So there are 10. Let's say there are 15 tables, 4 tops. So 15 times 4, 60 people each. Each meal we'll say is 75 gold. So 60 times 75.
75, dude.
We didn't even get one meal.
It's a 5-star.
Well, that's a tip, guys.
Well, it is
Yeah.
the top restaurant.
No,
Times
we
75.
helped
He
Maybe
makes
it's your
4,500 gold.
Shit. And he
Alright.
gave us
No, he's gonna
50?
need it. He's gonna
Cool.
need
We kill Grimwald.
This is gold.
Death
Before
to
we-
capitalists.
it. I just turn to Grimwald and I say, "Oh, have you heard of a feller named Captain Ziggy of the Tropius clan?"
Oh, the Tropius clan. Yes, they're good people. And Ziggy, yes, he comes in here from time to time. He's a good lad. Yes, are you heading to Tropius?
I believe we are.
All right, well, yes, Ziggy, he's a...
Did we say that we knew Flynt?
Oh yeah, we didn't really mention, but
We're like best friends with Flynt now.
Dr. Flint! Oh, my God, he's one of my...
Gosh, how did we not say
He
that?
is, oh my God, he's a dear friend of mine. He comes in quite often, and he always leaves the biggest tips, and he's quite the fan of Grimwald's, and I'm quite the fan of his.
Oh, so to Tropius, can you just point us?
Oh yes, so he kind of ushers you out the door. So you see just the nearest mountain here. So you just kind of go over to that mountain, and it's right there. It's just on the other side. It's really just a few hours journey north.
Thank you for this experience.
Yeah.
It's a great team building exercise. I think we needed it.
Thank you, lads.
We're still
and for
finding
the
out
beans.
things.
Thank you for the beans.
Yeah, beans.
Anytime. So yeah, you're welcome here, or you can go.
We'll stay for quite some time.
Quick like food, drink montage, maybe?
Yeah,
Like, we're
of
just kinda
course.
like,
Beach scene.
Of course, yeah, you're having a meal, enjoying talking to the people,
Beach episode.
or
yeah, slow motion
mingling.
beach running.
Does Quavo get hammered?
Does
Yeah.
Quavo get hammered?
Roll for Constitution.
I'm gonna roll through.
Yeah, if you're drinking,
Drugs
roll
down.
for Constitution.
I'm drinking.
Grog fails.
12.
12.
13.
11.
12, 13, 11.
Grog's drunk for sure.
He's drunk. Okay.
He's only ever had
It's
alcohol
yourself.
like 3 times.
right. Gobi, is Gobi drinking?
I did. I got a 12 as well.
All right, so you all maintain a steady buzz, but but nobody except for Grok gets
Grog
drunk.
throws up a little bit.
Yeah.
What keeps it down?
Yeah, he sobers up a little bit.
Okay, yeah, we passed some time there,
We give him
I
some
love
bread.
that.
and maybe just
And-
hang out for a while, talking,
We're all sitting at a table. together.
enjoying the respite. Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
Are you guys talking to each other, getting to know each other at all?
No,
We're
sitting
talking.
awkwardly.
Yeah, we're talking
In
for
montage
sure.
form.
Yeah.
Sure,
It's
sure.
there's a
You
song
can't- they
playing
can't
over.
quite hear us.
Yeah.
Our audio, but we're talking.
Nothing much happened.
I'll say as I got a little more buzzed, I get more generous, and then if anybody asks in the restaurant, I'll go to their place and I'll mend whatever they have with my mending spell. Whatever's broken that I can mend. Over a
Do you
small
ask
area.
anybody?
Well, just I'm loudly almost boasting that I can do the spell. So if anybody
Okay.
asks, I'll go to their place.
So you notice the man who was sweeping up his house, the glass. He says, "Well, I guess I could use a mend on my window."
Well, a mend on your window you shall receive.
Oh well, thank you, sir. I'm Lonnie. And he
Ronnie?
escorts. No, Lonnie.
Ronnie, I saw your farm on the way in.
So he walks you up
It's
to
not so bad.
to Lonnie's farm, and you mend a window on the front of his farmhouse. And he says, if you ever need any wheat, rice, potatoes, anything of the sort, just please pass on through, and it's on me.
Well, you're right as rain there, Lonnie. I'll take you up on one potato if you don't mind.
Well, of course. And he hands you one potato.
Much obliged.
Damn, I'm so glad we
Huge
passed through this
inventory.
foodie town.
Yeah.
Huge.
Even like the magic items we got were food.
Yeah, so I use
Yeah.
my one potato
It's
I threw
as
my
my
potato.
as my summoning orb.
I'm gonna be using that potato in a catapult situation in the future. No matter the object,
Dude, you should
it
write
does
this down.
3d8.
so are y'all? So you're just hanging in Riddleton?
We stay the night.
You don't stay the night. It's like
It's still the-
like 12:30.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Oh right, that was a
Short
lunch crowd.
montage.
Yeah, is
Short
there a
montage.
dinner crowd that everyone needs this
there,
for?
there will be. Oh, yeah,
We're
we
really
got
getting
enough
our
stew.
rhythm back.
You made
Okay,
enough
all
stew.
right.
Grandma's pushing us out. He tastes the stew and he's like, no.
That's
you're
quite
fine."
enough. That's quite enough.
Yeah. So
Cool.
I guess we
So,
wrap up.
you head
there
out
and
from
start
Riddleton?
heading towards.
And you
Tropius.
head north on a rough dirt path leading into the mountain range ahead. If that is I think a good stopping point. That's
Sensational.
Yeah.
Wow.
I like
Great
this town.
session 3.
Crazy.
Great
I
I
session 3.
almost loved this town, but there weren't that many riddles.